There we go. We are officially live here on Langer at the mic here on YouTube and on Colorcast. Welcome
for sure
to our wonderful audience. Yes, we are for sure live. Welcome to this live cast both on YouTube and on Colorcast of this AFC Championship game between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah!
We're lining Ryan Silver in the background there, letting us know that we are ready for some football.
I can't do it again.
That might have been very loud. Either way, welcome in, guys. Welcome in on Colorcast. Welcome in on YouTube. And if you are on YouTube, make sure you tune in on Colorcast. Of course, the wonderful app here, because it's not only the AFC Championship, but it's also the semifinal round of the Colorcast NFL playoffs. So we are simulcasting to be able to look back at our content after the fact. But during the games, make sure you tune in on Colorcast, as it is written in the banner right below here on YouTube. But Ryan, as it is written, just like in the Bible, yes, like on Passover, yeah, just like we say on Passover in the Haggadah, you know what I'm saying? So look, Ryan, let's get right into this again. The Chiefs-Bengals matchup that we're about to witness right now. I know we already said it on Colorcast, but now for the sake of saying it on YouTube and to our YouTube audience, right now, great game between the Chiefs and the Bills. Both games, like all games last weekend, came down to the final play of the game. So is this one also going to come down to the final play of the game tonight?
That's a good question, Mike. I don't think so, but I think Cincinnati's going to stay in it. But I don't think they're going to be able to keep enough pace up. I don't think this is going to be one of those dramatic finishes as we had literally every game last week. Man, what a contrast from the first week of playoffs and the second week of playoffs. First week was one of the worst wildcard weekends I've ever seen. And then the divisional round was arguably the best. It probably was the best divisional round I've ever seen in my life. So, man, I just hope they could follow it up with the conference championships here and set up a great Super Bowl. Obviously, the dream is going to be Kansas City Chiefs versus the LA Rams, but unless you're a Niners fan or a Cincy fan. But we will see. But to answer that question before segueing even further that I have already, I don't think this one's going to come down to the wire. I don't think either game are going to come down to the wire this time. But I'd honestly like to be proven wrong because down to the wire football is the most exciting football there is, baby.
Just like last weekend, of course. But look, these two teams, they played in Cincinnati on Week 17, where the Bengals won 34-31. Burrow had 4 touchdowns, 400-plus yards passing. Mahomes had 2 touchdowns, 259 yards passing. So obviously that was in Cincinnati. But my biggest concern, my two biggest concerns for the Bengals, Joe Burrow and their offense is, first of all, how are they going to handle the crowd noise at Arrowhead? And number two, how are they going to be able to protect Joe Burrow after he got sacked 9 times last week? This week, he'll be going up against Melvin Ingram and Chris Jones and Frank Clark. How will the Bengals offensive line be able to protect Burrow and deal with the crowd noise?
They won't, Mike. That's the issue. They won't. They'll be able to, protect them just as much to keep them in the game as they did last week in Tennessee. Apparently, 9 sacks just wasn't enough. But I think they're going to struggle. I think we're going to see another 4+ sacks at least this game. Expect to see the big 2, Frank Clark and Chris Jones, to be up and running and just causing absolute havoc on Burrow all night, all afternoon, I should really say. And but again, Joe Burrow's got the swagger of 1,000 suns right now, and he seems to be able to keep his cool in that pocket even when he's got pressure. So give credit to Burrow for being able to get it done, regardless of the fact that he was on his butt more than any other game I've ever seen. But he gets it done. But good one, Mike. Let's see what that pressure will amount to this time, because last time it wasn't enough. But the difference is the Kansas City offense can put up a lot more points than that Tennessee offense can, Mike.
I agree.
Being the third overall. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say how with Joe Burrow, also he needs a new contract with some kind of high fashion sunglasses designer after the grandma glasses he wore last week and the glasses he wore in at Arrowhead Stadium this week on this Sunday. I don't know if you got a chance to see his outfit, but it's just it's one of those I feel like Joe Burrow could potentially challenge Cam Newton exactly in terms of his pregame outfits. Maybe not to the same over the top as Cam Newton, but close to it.
Or is he like Newton meets Gardner Minshew with like the cool kid attitude of Minshew, or even or Ryan Fitzpatrick with those sunglasses and the suit? But yeah, he seems to be
Gardner Minshew. I think. By the way, sorry, I know Gardner Minshew has nothing to do with this game, but he has something to do with the fact that I think on somehow on social media I saw a post of him like doing like sword fencing or something. Because of course he would.
That sounds like a Minshew thing to do. He actually had a good appearance in the like 1 or 2 games that he played this season. So I mean, that guy's still kicking around the league somehow. But
I mean, he's a backup in Philly.
Yeah, Philly.
So now what about the Kansas? So let's talk about the Kansas City Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes on their side, and Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce. Obviously, those 3 players combined for some of the big plays, some of the biggest plays that were made in that game last week against the Bills. Obviously, Tyreek Hill with the throwing up the peace sign to Matt Milano before he was even in the end zone. Then you had Classic Tyreek. Then you had Travis Kelce with the big catch to set the Harrison Butker and the Chiefs up in Harrison Butker's field goal range to kick the game-tying field goal in under 13 seconds. They used their 3 timeouts to a T. And then in overtime...
13 seconds, Mike?
Yeah.
13 seconds? What? In what world is that enough? And I know, like, when we were streaming live, I was saying, hey, that's enough time. Don't give them that much time. But, like, in what world does that feel enough to you? Like, just 13 seconds. My goodness.
Welcome in Happy Place to the chat. And I don't know if we want to traumatize her with that. Sorry, I don't know if we want to traumatize her too much with that there, Ryan, because obviously Happy Place is a Bills fan.
Yeah, let's not talk about that. That's true. We're not going to talk about that.
But on the Chiefs side, we'll talk about the Chiefs more specifically. I think as long as there is time on the clock, that's enough time for the Kansas City Chiefs and that offense. If they need a field goal, maybe not a touchdown, but if they need to put points on the board in 13 seconds, in 10 seconds, in maybe, dare I say, 3 seconds, that would, especially if they have timeouts. Because keep in mind, the huge part of that was that they had timeouts last week. Because if they didn't have timeouts last week, then that's obviously that. Then they actually need a miracle to beat the Buffalo Bills last week if they did not have timeouts.
That's just good coaching. That's just good coaching and time management. Look at that! We always take Cincinnati.
Yeah, just also we always talk about on our casts here how important those second half timeouts are. Those first half timeouts, you can, they're important, but you can be a little more lenient with them, or you can just take them to avoid a penalty. You could take them to just because you don't like the look on defense. But in the second half, you need those timeouts because you never know when you'll actually need them late in the game to stop the clock.
You need to play more clutch, and you need to be smarter, and you can't allow those silly freaking before the snap miscommunications that lead to a wasted timeout especially in playoff games. You just need to be able to manage the clock. And again, the biggest factor is who has the home field. Like, that's one of the biggest impacts in home field advantage is that the audience could take away a timeout from the defending team, or from the offense, for the visiting team, by just being way too loud for them to be able to communicate effectively, and then just forcing them to take a timeout to actually get a proper play call in a clutch situation. That's where that 12th man is super important and has the arguably biggest factor into a game. And will that come to be significant in this game? Who knows? But it happens all the time, Mike. All the time.
Absolutely, Ryan. And I want to also, we're just about 10 minutes away from kickoff here. So I want to hear from people in the chat. Who do you have in this game between Happy Place, between Maverick86, whoever else joins? I want to get the chat going with who do you think is going to win in this game? Who do you want to win this AFC Championship, and why? Let us know in the chat. So Ryan, I don't know if we actually asked each other yet, who do we have? Or I don't know, we might have already, but I'm taking Kansas City. I want Kansas City to win, and I think they will win. I really like what this with Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, even Zach Taylor, who's obviously doesn't get talked about enough, in my opinion, because a couple of years ago we were ready to write him off as who the hell is Zach Taylor coaching this 2-14 Bengals team, or 1-50, wherever they were in 2019. Who is this Zach Taylor guy? But you know what? He's done a lot of things right to get this team to where they are now. And I think they're still a very young team, and they still have to learn how to win. I think their time will come, even though the AFC is loaded and competitive. But I just think right now they need those extra 1 or 2 pieces on the offensive line to keep Joe Burrow upright, and that is why I am taking the Kansas City Chiefs to win this one. And
I'm still skeptical about on the coaching efficiency of Zach Taylor, but I will give him credit for getting his team this far. He's doing something right, I suppose, or just his team is good enough. You know, the whole what's his name? Just got freaking fired in Oakland or in Las Vegas. I did it again.
Rich Bisaccia. Yeah, there you go. Rich
Bisaccia.
No. So Josh McDaniels got hired for Rich Bisaccia, which I'm very surprised about, by the way.
I'm talking about the coach that got fired for that all. Gruden.
Oh, Gruden. Yeah. The first coach. Yes.
Gruden special is to be a bad coach with such a good team that you can still win the Super Bowl. And that's the Gruden special, in my opinion. One of the worst coaches to ever be considered a good coach. So whether or not
probably not a good person given how he got fired. Also.
Well, yeah, that's a whole nother talk. That's a whole nother talk, buddy. The Chiefs could put up 40 plus points from an anonymous user here. The Chiefs could put up 40 plus points on the number 1 defense. Imagine what they'll do to these Bengals. I couldn't agree more. And I was about to say that I want to go over some score predictions. And I do have the Chiefs putting up 40 plus points in this game because we have 2 of the worst passing defenses in the league. Bengals have the 7th worst passing defense in the league, and the Chiefs have the 6th worst passing defense in the league. And when both have the 4th and 7th, Chiefs have the 4th best passing offense, and the Bengals have the 7th best passing offense. When you add all that together, Mike, we got a high scoring affair. Now, though, I think the run game again, I hate to say this because I'm very keen on the run game, but run game will be a arguably non-factor compared to the passing game in this matchup entirely. And I believe that the Chiefs are going to come out 41 and win 41-32. And I guess that does mean they do cover the spread, Mike.
I disagree with you in the sense that the running game won't be a factor because didn't Patrick Mahomes rush for like 60, 70 yards last week on his own in terms of just QB scramble plays alone? Can't Joe Burrow run off a couple of scrambles as well to pick up first downs and move the chains? Wasn't Joe Mixon like a top 5 running back this year in terms of rushing? So what I'm getting at, what I'm getting at is that in this game, I think the running game will, if either team can take advantage of their running game, that will be a huge advantage. Well, if they can use the running game to slow down the other teams, to kind of like what the 49ers do. If they can add that element, we both know these are 2 high-flying passing offenses minus Cincinnati's ability to protect Joe Burrow. But if they can start to run the football and be efficient in the ground game, I just think that will make their passing game that much better. I'm talking on the Chiefs side or the Bengals side. So I think the running game could be a factor in this one. I understand what you mean by it being a non-factor as we welcome in number 1 dad into the stream as well as another anonymous listener here. I understand what you're getting at, but I think that if either of these teams has a chance to take advantage of their running game and make it efficient, then they can definitely put this one out of reach for the other side.
And if one of the teams is going to do it, it's obviously going to be the Bengals. They have a much better rushing attack than well, I shouldn't say better rushing attack, but they have they're playing against one of the worst rushing defenses. And so while the Bengals defense is number 5 in the league in the rushing defense, so they have a very stout front D line that is able to absolutely stuff the run. And Kansas City's running game has never been their highlights. They do have Clyde Edwards-Helaire back. He seemed to be on a limited snap count last week, but now I'm sure we'll see him in full force. But I wonder if they're still going to see a lot of Jerick McKinnon, because he was playing so well, in my opinion.
He did play very well last week.
I know the stat lines don't look, crazy and like smack you away with these unbelievable numbers. They don't look like that. But he on the field, the eye test was 100% pass. He was cutting effectively. He was able to read the hole, and his passing game utility.
So just so you know, Ryan, Jerick McKinnon had 5. Not so much on the run, and from the run game standpoint, he only had under 3 yards a carry. Where is it? Right over.
No, I know his average carry.
Yeah,
it wasn't.
Yeah, he was 2.4 yards per carry, but receiving, he had 5 receptions for 54 yards on 7 targets. So he was a tremendous weapon for Kansas City out of the backfield. As we welcome in GCGHVCX to the chat here as well, guys. Once again, we're just about 4 minutes away from kickoff. If you're on YouTube, remember to download the Colorcast app and follow us here on Colorcast. Welcome in another anonymous listener to the stream here. But yeah, guys, so excited to get this one kicked off. We're almost there. And just back to Jerick McKinnon and Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Though I think that if they could get Clyde Edwards-Helaire a little bit more involved as well, that would just make that 1-2 punch that much more effective for Kansas City. And all this to say, in this entire conversation, I think that Kansas City's running game is very underrated. And also, they have gone multiple playoff games in a row, I believe, rushing for over 100 yards as a team. So that is, they had 182 yards rushing last week, just so you know. Clyde had 60 yards on 7 carries.
Yeah, that was really good. He had one really big breakaway run, too. But, again, they have been the definition of middle of the pack all year for rushing game. They're 16th. Dead center of the pack, right? So it's just where do you evaluate the significance? Obviously, you want to open up play action, but to be honest with Kansas City's versatility.
But Ryan, the rankings of the season don't matter at this point. Ryan, the rankings of the regular season don't matter at this point in the AFC Championship. It matters how.
I respectfully disagree. I think it's super relevant. I think it's super. Wow, this is an interesting American flag here.
It's in the shape of America.
Flag in the shape of America.
We've seen that before.
Maybe I've never noticed.
By the way, one of the coolest stadium traditions is for the Chiefs. The national anthem here is going to be performed by Ashanti.
Mm-hmm. I think I'm a little bit ahead of you, Mike. We'll sync up our streams in just a moment there.
Yes, we'll have to do that. And I'm hearing Stephen A. Smith from an ESPN thing by accident, so that's not good. I shut that down. We got Ashanti, singing the national anthem now.
Weed.
Yeah. Stay off the weed. Okay, but honestly, respect to the national anthem here, guys. Because I feel like it's on the broadcast.
McPherson probably, actually.
I was going to say, Ryan, real quick, I was going to say one of the coolest traditions in NFL stadiums is the home of the Chiefs.
It is cool. It is a cool tradition. Yeah. I do like. Actually, I'm going to turn my sound up just a little bit to hear that one more time. But we had a question in the chat. Who's got the edge in kicking in this game? And again, I put it to McPherson simply because of how hot he has been and how effective he's been this year. I know he's not a big name in the NFL yet. Will he be? We'll see how he develops. But right now, he is the hottest leg, and I do take the hottest leg over Old Reliable and Harrison Butker. So
Harrison Butker did also wait. Hang on, here's the home of the and a flyover. It's really cool, actually.
Oh, she didn't say Chiefs though. Oh, she went for a big.
No, but the
Chiefs for the whole crowd.
No, but the crowd say Chiefs. Oh, whatever. It's all good. So we're almost gonna kick this one off here in the AFC Championship. But yeah, Ryan, honestly,
darn straight.
Wait, what were we arguing about again?
Probably about your wrong opinions in overtime. We were arguing. We were talking about the
yes. Okay. So that was I love that question because Harrison Butker again missed an extra point last week. It did not exactly come back to hurt the Kansas City Chiefs. However, However, I still think that when you're a rookie in the postseason as a kicker, and you could potentially be sending your team to the Super Bowl or sending your team home with one swing of the leg or one missed swing of the leg, I have to see how he comes down to dealing with that pressure. Whereas Harrison Butker, he has been in 2 Super Bowls already, one of which was a blowout, but the other of which he won with the Chiefs. So I take the experienced kicker in this situation because it's the conference championship. It's going to be the Super Bowl. You got all of America, North America, Canada, maybe even the world watching. So I take the experience in this game over the youth and the hot leg, even if it's as well as McPherson has been playing this year.
It's been a hot leg that's been playing clutch scenarios, though. It's not just like he's been kicking well, but he's actually been kicking well under pressure. And that's what's impressive to me for somebody young, too, and an unknown name. To be able to make those kicks like that, unbelievable. Do you hear what he said before? Do you hear what the report that Burrow said about McPherson?
What did he say? Oh, I think I remember hearing that. Like he's like cool and calm or something like that.
He literally before going to kick the game-winning field goal, looked at Burrow, dead in the eye, and said, "I guess we're going to the AFC Championship then," and then kicked the game-winning field goal when it was 50 some odd yards, like far beyond a guarantee.
Yeah, I heard that. I did hear that. Yes, I remember hearing that.
Unreal. He's got the swagger of Burrow. It's rubbing off on the rest of the team right now, Mike.
Seriously, yeah. And Ryan, where are you? You're not in your seat on the YouTube stream here.
Sorry, I had to get some more water. I've already gone through a whole bottle because of all that.
That's all good. Here, I'll remove your camera for a sec. Oh, okay, there you go. There you go. Okay.
Gotta represent, Mike. Gotta represent. Go Leafs.
Fair enough.
Also, I will every once in a while give us a quick update on what's going on in the Canada versus U.S.
Yes, please do.
I will do that. I'm going to tune in every once in a while and just take a peek over there because this is a
Canada
huge game.
beat Honduras.
For those who,
Canada beat Honduras 2-0 or 2-0, I should say, and then the U.S. beat El Salvador 1-0 on Wednesday. Thursday.
And this is a football cast, so I'm not going to spend too much time on the other football, but we're talking NFL here. But I do want to quickly note that Canada has a very unbelievably strong chance at making the FIFA World Cup this year, which is and not only doing that, but so far they haven't lost a game. So Canada's been a very impressive team, and they've played teams like Mexico and the USA, and they're playing the US again today. So we'll see what they could do here. But if they could win against the US, they would be pretty close to guaranteeing a spot in the FIFA World Cup Championships.
So we're just about to kick off this AFC American Football Championship of the NFL here between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Cincinnati Bengals. Harrison Butker's lined up with the Chiefs to kick it off for the Bengals, who will start with the ball, and we're off for championship round weekend. It is a touchback into the back of the end zone again, as 99% of kickoffs happen. Welcome in user Vodka to the chat, but
there's no way
Bengals.
That's a real stat, Mike. There's no way.
Obviously it's not a real stat. That's off the top of my head. But we're going to see Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals offense go to work first. So
let's go,
Ryan.
baby.
How do they handle this first drive with the crowd noise?
I mean, honestly, the way Cincinnati's been coming out guns firing, I would be surprised if they didn't get a few first downs before having to kick it away, if at all. But I'd love to see them get on the board early to make this a nice high-firing, high-slinging slugfest, as we love to see.
They go handoff to Mixon to the right side to start, who has a bit of a crease over right tackle for a nice gain of about 4 to start the game.
Yeah, and again, as I mentioned, that I don't think the wins are gonna whoever's gonna win this game. I don't think they're gonna win it on the ground. I'm not saying it's gonna be a non-factor. I just don't think that's gonna be the biggest factor. But I do love Joe Mixon. He is obviously much better than anybody else in the Kansas City side when it comes to the running game. So expect to see Mixon get a lot of work, but also in the passing game as well. He is a very good pass catcher, and let's see what he can do. On the
2nd and 7, they go to Jamar Chase, quick screen, and he gains about 2 yards after a nice tackle made there by Nick Bolton. Or Anthony Hitchens, I should say.
Yeah, but that was it was a good job by the defender getting just a piece of Jamar there off of the screen little bubble route there, enough to slow him down so his other men in the secondary could finish the tackle. So and here we go already, 3rd down. Expect to hear that crowd noise coming in, as we do hear it coming in already. And again, expect some slant routes, and especially with Jamar Chase being the first option here.
Crowd noise is relentless indeed in Kansas City at Lumen Field at Arrowhead. 3rd and 5, Bengals. Burrow looks to the left, and it is incomplete, intended for his tight end, CJ Uzomah. Broken up there by Willie Gay, and the Bengals will punt.
He had T. Higgins on the right side there on the slant route. He did not look to his second option there. It looks like that was designed to be a little squeeze play there to Uzomah all the way. When I say squeeze, I mean like a small opening there, not an actual squeeze. Yeah, and there's the 3 and out. The crowd noise getting there on the 3rd down, and Kansas City getting the ball, not even able to get a first down on that first drive. That's not good if you're a Cincinnati fan, Mike.
So the punt is away, and it will land right around the 20. Takes a Cincinnati bounce, going down all the way to about the 15-yard line. Nice punt there by the Bengals and their punting unit, led by Kevin Hoover.
It got a few Cincinnati bounces there. It just kept on bouncing forward. Sometimes
it got like 10,
they'll skip and go straight up or something, or go like a little side wobble. That one just kept rolling forward. Great punt. But punts don't seem to matter against Patrick Mahomes. He doesn't care how much field he has to cover. He'll cover it all.
Oh, yeah.
He'll cover it all in 13 seconds, apparently.
Oh, yeah. We welcome in Beham2 and Emmy to the chat here, as well as the Chiefs will start their first offensive possession of this championship game at Gihah Field. The handoff is to McKinnon for a nice gain of 8 yards over the left side of the offensive line.
That's that one caught me off guard there. Obviously, it was a good draw play there, and it looked like it caught the entire defensive line off guard too there. Yes, you have Brian Pringle to score the first touchdown. Chances? I wouldn't say they're outrageous. I would say let's call it 1 in 20 or something like that. But he is like arguably their second receiver. And so if they get into the red zone, I don't think it's outrageous at all, because you'll have heavy coverage on Kelsey and like all the
second down. Mahomes goes to McKinnon for a first down and more out across the 30-yard line.
There's that passing game with McKinnon that we were talking about before. He's looked explosive. Look how fast he cuts off of this ball after he catches the ball. Like, he actually does a great job here, making a slight hesitation while the ball's in the air so he can catch it while in stride. Unbelievable. Those are some really veteran and efficient mechanics from somebody that's been, distraught with injuries his entire career. I love to see that McKinnon's on the field, but not only on the field, but making an impact. It is such a heartwarming story in this offense.
He has been great for the Chiefs so far as they go on first down, empty short. Mahomes to Hill underneath for a nice pickup of about 9 on first down on the catch and run.
Mike, you got a shout out from Bam.
Yes. What's up, Beham?
Says Daddy needs a new pair of shoes. So let's get you a new pair of shoes, baby. Let's go. I'd love to see Pringle score that first touchdown for you there, buddy.
Wait, so you have money on Byron Pringle for a first touchdown? I like that. I mean, you had a touchdown reception last week.
Somebody in the chat here, and
second and 2 for the Chiefs, though, and they go draw to McKinnon, who does not get the line to gain. He only gains 1 on second and 2, so it'll be 3rd and 1 coming up for the Chiefs.
What's the saying? Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, not happening. It just didn't happen that time. That was actually almost exactly the same play that they ran the draw on before, and Cincinnati was not biting whatsoever. Not even. Wow, what a great play! Oh, to get him by the feet there too. Unbelievable job. Who was that number? I saw 7 at the end there. I'm sorry, I missed who the actual play was. It looked like the linebacker came around. And
it might have been 57.
Yeah.
Either way, 3rd and short for the Chiefs, and they go draw to the tight end and fullback. I don't know if he got there. He was very close on the carry.
The spot's gonna be like the spot's looking a little rough here. Oh, what's that other judge coming?
Michael Burton might be just a bit short.
Whoa! Did you see what that judge just did? He ran down the line and then he just took a left step and put it down short. This is a terrible spot. That ball absolutely crossed the line to gain, but shame on the coach. Well, the ref there. What you're supposed to do is you're supposed to walk in the straight line and use the outside foot to place where that ball is. And he just took a left step. He just let a little bit of a stumble. Look, he clearly passes the line of gain there. It's not even close. That ball
I wanna
absolutely, without a doubt, crossed the line of gain. That line of gain is right there. It's the the 8 something.
It's the 48-yard line that he needs, and yeah, I'd say it's pretty. Would you challenge this if you're Andy Reid? If you're Andy Reid, do you challenge this?
I would, because of how certain he crossed it. There's a level of certainty with any challenge where it's worth taking. That is 100% a first down. So I would absolutely challenge that ball.
And it looks like he will be challenging.
I hope we get to see. I hope the announcers. I'm not listening to the announcers in this game, but I hope they point out that the ref made a mistake. Again, you're supposed to walk in a straight line and put the ball down on your foot, where your either right foot if you're coming in from the right side, or left foot if you're coming from the left side. So the outside foot, and you're supposed to put that on your foot. That's your marker. But he either stumbled or looked at the other ref and seemed to just take a quick left step and put it down instead, which is not what you're supposed to do as a coach. You're supposed to maintain that you go straight down the line. Do not let anybody push you around, and then put that ball down. That's your initial spot. And you want that so you don't accidentally walk in an angle or just forget where the ball is, or have it change on your way down. You want some level of certainty where to put it, and you can have that consistency by always placing it on your right foot. And so I think that was a mistake by the refereeing there. But good challenge. This is going to tell for a first down.
It should hopefully be a first down for the Chiefs side, for the Chiefs standpoint. But that's where instant replay comes in and is effective. And I don't know if arguably this is one of those situations where maybe New York should chime in and be like, yeah, that's obviously a first down, so no point challenging, no point in wasting your time with challenging and going through all that whole delay process.
Maybe. It'd be interesting to see.
Because now Andy Reid and the Chiefs they're only gonna have one more challenge left for the rest of the game, and if they get it right, they get an additional challenge. But if they don't, then that means they will be out of challenges.
Yeah. What they should do to speed up the pace of play, I don't know. Maybe third downs, maybe. Because it makes the impact of the fourth down decision so much more dramatic. So maybe I don't know. It's a little bit of a gray area for me on the rule book there, but I'm glad that they're going to get this call. They're going to get this call right, and we're going to see a first down for the Chiefs, and let's see if they can keep on cruising down the field. And again, one thing for the Bengals, I'm less worried about what your defense could do, because you're going to let up points against Kansas City. I'm more worried about what their offense is going to do. And if they cannot get 3 and outs. You have to look at the game and say, we need to score on every single possession if we want to beat the Chiefs. And obviously the end zone is where you'd rather be, but you have to put up points as frequently as possible, because the Kansas City Chiefs do not take their foot off the gas, and they will keep on pounding that ball into the end zone. And suddenly this game is out of reach before you can even blink, Mike.
Absolutely. So we're about to get the call here after this one last commercial here. I'm anxious to see what the call is and whether or not they got it right. So what they'll probably do is maybe they'll review it, they'll announce the call, and then they'll probably have to respot it or remeasure it with the sticks.
No, they already did.
Yeah, they gave the first down. Okay, that's good. It did look very clear that Michael Burton got the yardage to gain, which he did, so they ruled it a first down.
Yeah, it's like, and I was looking and saying, like, that will look clear to me, and it's almost like the whole football is past the line. I thought it was just silly that it wasn't called in the field, but regardless, they got right now.
Yes, McKinnon gets a nice handoff for a gain of 6 on first down, still rolling. He gets about 8 or 9 on a nice run on first down by McKinnon.
Man, Mike, look at him dig with his legs there and keep it rolling. The crowd is so jacked up from that, and I don't blame them. My goodness, he could have been stopped at for 5, for 6, for 7, but he makes a good 8 yards out of that. He just kept 9 yards. He just kept the legs driving. That's what you're told to do as a running back, Mike, is that you're supposed to keep those legs, dig, and just keep pushing forward. Good things happen, and that time he was able to spin off a tackle at the end and get an extra 3 yards.
So on second down, Mahomes goes left to Kelsey for a first down out across the 35.
Yeah, they just make it look so easy here, Mike. That was Yeah, they pulled a corner blitz on the left side. It did not make any difference in the world. It did not affect the play call here. Quick out route to Kelsey to get the first down and more. Absolute clockwork here. So, sorry, that was not a corner blitz. My apologies. That was a corner blitz.
So on 1st and 10 here, now inside Cincinnati territory, inside field goal range for a potential first scoring possession here for the Chiefs on their first possession. McKinnon stays in the backfield. Mahomes in the shotgun to receivers right. Mahomes looking over the middle. Mahomes under pressure. Escapes, steps up. He'll pick it up himself. First down and more out across just shy of the 20-yard line. And there's Patrick Mahomes on the scramble, which he could do it himself if there's nothing there. Picks up a first down for the Chiefs.
Mike, this is just what happens every game with Patty Mahomes, Mike. It is just he just how do you stop the Chiefs where they beat you with every single possible option? It's nothing was there. They played the defense so well in the secondary, but he was just able to make magic work with his feet yet again. How do you beat that, Mike? It's just insane.
Well, now they'll have to try to beat McKinnon, who still is rolling for another gain of 8, where again it looked like he was stopped 4 yards down the field, but he keeps rumbling forward for a nice gain of 8 to set up another second and short for the Chiefs.
He does it again, Mike. I'm loving watching McKinnon at work here. Oh my goodness, look at him. Keep the legs pushing and just put his head down and drive. Unbelievable. This is some elite work on the running game right now from a man that nobody even realized was still in the league before a couple of games ago, Mike. Unbelievable pickup in Kansas City. The way he's playing right now could bring them a championship.
2nd and 4 for the Chiefs. Mahomes goes quick to the right. He has a completion to Hill, who has a first down and more out across the 10-yard line to set up likely first and goal for the Chiefs.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Looking very nice. Looking very good for Kansas City right now. This is their first red zone appearance of the game on their first drive. You expect them to come up with 7 here, and there's been no sign of Cincinnati being able to stop them in any way whatsoever. They haven't even been able to stop the run game, let alone this passing offense. When you put the ball in the hands of playmakers like Tyreek Hill, you'll get yards plus.
So first and goal from the 10. So a bit of a chance for Cincinnati to make a stop here, because I always say first and goal from the 10 is a big challenge for the offense. Mahomes off play action. Nothing in the end zone. Rolls right. Throws it to the end zone, and it is caught for a touchdown. Wow. Tyreek Hill putting the Chiefs on the board. They march down the field on their first possession and put it in the end zone for 6.
Woo, Nelly, Mike, did you see that beautiful play? My goodness, this offensive line buys Patrick Mahomes all the time in the world. He barely even had to scramble. He got a little bit of pressure on the left side, takes a couple steps to his right, and watch Tyreek just look at the speed, create separation from the defenders. Oh my goodness, he looked so much taller than that catch too. He is a short man, but look at him get up there, extend his hands, and make an absolutely difficult catch look very easy. He has those 2 feet in bounds. That's 6 points on the board. Pending a center kick, 7-0. Kansas City off that first drive, looking like nothing in the world could stop them.
We welcome in Day Montreal to the cast here, as the extra point by Butker is good. Kansas City has a 7-0 lead after scoring on their first possession. Just that throw by Mahomes, just hanging in mid-air, just throwing. It looked like he put as much zip on that throw, more zip on that throw than any other quarterback would have stepping into it. But Mahomes just slung it in. Maybe the only comparable I can think of is maybe Justin Herbert, maybe Josh Allen, who we saw last week, exactly. Maybe Aaron Rodgers. Maybe
Joe Flacco,
we've seen him flick his wrist like that.
Maybe
Joe Flacco, but Joe Flacco doesn't have that mobility. He never did. So that was a classic.
He also doesn't have the accuracy anymore either. But
exactly.
1 year where he put it all together, he won a Super Bowl. So definitely had the arm strength of a god there. But yeah, what do you think on his first drive here, Mike? I like from Kansas City. What else is there to say other than if you're a Cincinnati fan?
Well, the Packers did this to the 49ers last week in the divisional round at Lambeau, and we thought the Packers were going to just score and score and score and score and score some more, but that was their only touchdown of the game. So if you're Cincinnati right now, you just, first of all, I think you have to just not go 3 and out. That's the first goal. The second goal is to get into Kansas City territory and at least try to get a field goal. And then if you can get a touchdown, then great. But at the very least, offensively, don't go 3 and out. Do your defense some favors for after being on a long scoring drive like that, a drive that took over 5 minutes. Give them at least a little bit of a breather, a little bit of a break, and and then, just get at least a field goal if you can, because the last thing you want is to be down 14-0 at Arrowhead, Geha Field at Arrowhead. So Yeah,
No kidding, Mike.
the Bengals. They need to get a good drive out of this one for sure, and one that takes up some time if possible.
Yeah, absolutely. And I give a little fist pump in the air while you're talking there. Started to change the subject, but it is 1-0 Canada. They are on the board against US.
1-0 Canada over US.
Oh, Canada. Let's go, baby. I love to hear that, especially over the US. Unbelievable. Great start, and they are without their superstar, Alphonso Davies, as well. So that's great to hear. Let's go, Canada. Every intermission, I'll keep on taking a peek over there and seeing what the score is for everybody. But yeah. Yeah, and I couldn't agree with you more, Mike. That
it was Kyle Larin who scored, of course. Kyle Larin, who leads the tournament in goals. So, and I pegged him as someone who is a favorite for the Lou Marsh Award, or could have been a favorite for the Lou Marsh Award, the best athlete in Canada in a given season. But yeah, back to American football now. Cincinnati's about to get the ball back after that touchdown by the Kansas City Chiefs. Butker will kick it off to Evans, and we'll see.
And Mike, this is where I expect them to get it going. They have to get it going. I mean, well, no, it's still early in the game, but I expect them to get the ball rolling here, and I'd like to see them get in the end zone to respond by saying, we're not just going to get rolled over here. We're here for a reason, and to put their foot down and get that ball down the field. And again, it comes in the hands of Joe Burrow and whoever he throws it to. So let's see what they can do with their second possession here, Mike.
Yeah, so it was a touchback, as I mentioned, and the Bengals will start the ball. Will start the drive from their own 25-yard line. Joe Burrow will once again line up under center in a big, heavy set of what appears to be 2 or 3 tight ends here. Chase motions across the left. Burrow hands it off to Mixon, who rumbles forward for a nice gain of 4, pushing the pile still up before finally being tackled by Chris Jones, the big defensive tackle, or Okafor, I should say, Alex Okafor, after a nice gain of 3.
Yeah. I mean, a nice gain of 3 is not going to do anything for you against Kansas City, but I mean,
I thought he gained more than 3 at first, but
yeah, I know. Good effort for just short yardage here. And look at this crowd. Everybody's on their feet. They've been on their feet since the start of this game, and I don't know if they're ever going to sit down because they know that the Super Bowl is just one game away and well within reach. Low snap.
2nd and 7. Yeah, low snap. Burrow picks it up, though. He's under pressure, gets it just off to his back. Mixon for a gain of about 2. That could have been a disastrous play for the Bengals, but Burrow picks up the snap, escapes the pressure, gets it off to Mixon for a gain of 2.
Impressive catch by Mixon. It looked like he was going for Uzama there, and Uzama just wasn't paying attention. So Mixon just come out there and just grabbed the ball, got a couple of yards out of nothing. And again, this is where Cincinnati needs to convert. This is the same position they were in, 3rd and 5, and they got absolutely nothing but a drop. This time again, I think that the best way they're going to be able to beat this Kansas City defense on those quick plays underneath, and then that opens up the deep ball later. So I like to see them go to a nice couple of slant routes and a couple of out routes and be able to find his first man.
Chiefs bring pressure. Burrow steps up out of it, and he can pick it up himself. He will. First down and more before sliding just shy of the 40-yard line.
Yeah, that does it too. He slid a little early, but nonetheless, whatever. It cost him a yard. The cost of a yard to be able to protect your quarterback just sounds like a good trade for me. Yeah, it was a good job by the offensive line there. The left tackle there actually pushed his. He gave the Clark the outside, so Burrow could have that room to step up in. So that was a great job. Clark had no option to get there on the inside, and just opens up that easy first down. I have a feeling that it wasn't a designed run, but that was like a second option for Burrow from the start.
First down of the game for the Bengals. As here they are in 1st and 10, just shy of the 40. They go handoff to Mixon, who doesn't really pick up much. Well played by the Chiefs again. No, it did not. It was he did not fumble it. It was just a gain of 1 though.
Again, I know they're trying to establish that run early, which I love, but I think this is just the game that you can't do that. You just got to start flinging the ball, man. You can't beat these Kansas City Chiefs on the ground. You need to be able to keep the pace with them in the air, or suddenly you're just going to look at a game clock that's almost fully expired, and you're looking at a three-score deficit and no way to get back into it.
So 2nd and 9 for the Bengals. A little bit of a delay getting the ball to the line of scrimmage. They do get it off. Burrow gets it off quickly to Mixon, who has a nice gain of 8, just shy of the line to gain. So it'll set up 3rd and 2.
Oh, but did you see that absolutely crushing hit by Nick Bolton? Nick Bolton, this is his first year in the league. He has been an unbelievable rookie. He's leading the entire team with 112 tackles as a linebacker. Unbelievable stuff. Watch this crushing blow. Perfectly legal.
Ooh.
Does not let Mixon get a single inch, let alone another yard. Absolutely devastating. Mixon's going to feel that one coming up for the next snap.
And 3rd and 2, he'll need to push to wash it off if possible, although Burrow lines up empty on 3rd and 2. He goes quick to the right side and is caught for a first down by by Tyler Boyd, I believe that
Tyler
is.
Boyd,
But, Tyler Boyd, yes, good enough for a first down on the Bengals.
Yeah, and it was great. Again, that's what Burrow needs to do, I think. I can't emphasize this enough. You need to beat them on those dink and duck plays and open up the deep ones. And that's what they did there. Now they finally got a drive going. Keep it going, Cincinnati. If you want to stay in this game, you got to keep this drive going the whole way. It looks like they snapped a little early intentionally to try to get the defense a little off guard. Ooh, Chris Jones getting a little snappy after that one. Don't blame him, though. And now they're at midfield. This is where you could try running the ball again. But I'd like to see some play action,
And they do go play action. Burrow looking deep, and he will be almost intercepted off of the hands of Uzama. That ball was in the air forever, but Nick Bolton could not bring that interception in, as it will fall harmlessly to the ground. And Uzama seems to be shaken up on the play there. Welcome in, by the way, Jay Boyd, to the chat. But a bit of a lot to unpack on that play there, Ryan.
Yeah, that's a big loss if they lose Uzama. He jumped funny on this play. Oh, look at the landing. Oh, that looks devastating. Oh, that landing is not comfortable. He just bent that back leg back all the way. Oh dear, that could be very bad. We'll see.
He did get off on his own power though, so that was a good sight to see.
He hopped off. It could just be a hyperextension, which again could be devastating, or it could be just something you could get off. You could get back in the game. But he should have had that catch. That almost led to an interception. That should have been a first down, Mike.
So on 2nd and 10, Burrow in the shotgun empty. And yeah, that was right off the hands of Uzama, but we hope he is okay after falling awkwardly. Chiefs rush 4. Burrow gets it off quickly underneath to Higgins for a gain of about 5. Or Boyd again, yes. I was confused Higgins and Boyd for some reason, but that's all good.
85 and 83.
That was set up 3rd and 5, yes. 85-83, yeah, what can you do?
I know. T. Higgins is the big freak in nature. Tyler Boyd's the quicker one. But yeah, oh man, Uzama looks like he is in pain over there on that sideline, Mike. Again, he did that horrible landing where you land on your leg and then you snap it back, and you just put all your pressure on the kneecap there, and it's just that is such a painful way to land. Unfortunately, he had to wait of a defender on his back too. He couldn't even stop it.
So on 3rd and 5, though, Burrow goes right, and he has a catch for a first down again to Boyd, who has 3 catches so far on this drive. That'll pick up a first down.
Yeah, and Boyd's getting pumped up as he should be, Mike. This is the drive that Cincinnati needs right here, right now. I absolutely love it. They're simplifying their playbook. They're looking to that first option, a very quick route, and they're beating the defenders. Kansas City is not good in their secondary. They can be beat in their secondary. So they need to focus on that. And again, that's what the wide receiver core is what Cincinnati thrives with. They have 3 wide receivers that could get it done on any given day, Mike.
Tyrann Mathieu is back for the Chiefs, though, so that's a huge upgrade for them as Mixon carries to the right side. He has an opening, first down and more, out across the 30, still going out of bounds, just shy of the 15-yard line. Big run there by Joe Mixon.
Yeah, damn right it was, Mike. My goodness, what a beautiful run. Mixon is known for his Le'Veon Bell style, wait for a hole to open, but he didn't have to wait any time at all there. He just plowed through this gap here, makes a good move, uses his blocker to his advantage, fakes it to the outside, then cuts it inside to make that first defender miss and get another 8 yards on the play. We got it 1st and 10 in the red zone for Cincinnati, and let's see if they can punch it in the end zone.
First time in the red zone today for the Bengals as we welcome in Sports Day with JJ, who had an awesome cast last night, late at night. Burrow, off play action. Burrow still looking over the middle, goes to the end zone, and it is incomplete. He was thrown to no one, just getting that away. 2nd and 10 coming up for the Chiefs.
I think that might have been a little it wasn't even miscommunication. At this point, this was a full scramble, Mike, and I think he thought his receiver was going to go one way, and he just decided to go the other. That's unfortunate because, again, this play right here, he wanted to get it to that tight end. That was the play from the start. Oh, you know what? That wasn't even a scramble. He just one of them. I think he just ran the wrong route because that there's no way that was just an intentional out of bounds there. That he had time still. He could have ran the ball for a few yards. It looks like his receiver just ran one way and he threw the other, Mike.
By the way, everyone, Dad said that Burrow before should have slid, or he slid a little early, like Dak slid, should have slid a little early. Anyway, second and goal, Burrow lost it to the end zone. It is incomplete, dropped in the end zone by T. Higgins. He had it in his lap. What a throw by Burrow, but Higgins could not bring it in. 3rd and 10 coming up for the Bengals.
This should have been PI, Mike. This was PI all the way. He was only given one arm to catch the ball with here, but he almost did it anyways. Again, this should be 1st and goal. It wasn't called, but either way, T. Higgins could have still caught that ball one-handed, but that's a very difficult catch to make. I'm not going to call that a drop, Mike, because that's a hard play, but that is a blown call by the refs.
Yes, Rashad Fenton was the guy in coverage holding that other arm back, as I saw the replay there. Definitely should have been PI. 3rd and 10, though. Burrow to the right side to the end zone again, and it is not able to be hauled in by Jamar Chase. Falling to the ground, incomplete. Jamar Chase looking for a flag as well. He won't get it. 4th and 10 for the Bengals.
They did it again here, Mike. They took away one arm here yet again, but this one was a little more understandable on the no call. Ward doing a great job in the coverage.
Travarius Ward.
Yes. And like he did, he got a finger on it. I think
at least played the ball there. He at least played the ball.
Yeah. That's why that one's understandable for no call here, Mike. But that first one should have been a call, and it might cost them 4 points at the end of the day here, potentially even 7. Let's just see. But after pending this 32-yard attempt.
McPherson drills the 32-yard attempt to put the Bengals on the board. It is 7-3 after 3 possessions here in the first quarter with 36 seconds to go. This is a fast first quarter. I don't know about you, but because of those 2 very long possessions by the Bengals and the Chiefs, obviously the Bengals went 3 out the first time, but this quarter just flew by as it is 7-3 with 36 seconds to go here in the first.
Yes. Yeah, it did go right by there. And I just want to take a quick note to thank all the listeners in. We got a nice crowd coming in here, already 500 likes. Appreciate you all. I hope you stay in for the whole cast. Enjoy. We got lots of action coming up. We just got 1 quarter of football done, and Mike and I are already losing our voices. So imagine what it's going to be for the next the next 3 quarters of this game and the next game after that. And no, we do not take breaks. We are here during halftime. We are here during every commercial break, and we are chatting with you the whole way.
We welcome in Veldz to the chat here as well.
Yes, absolutely. And on top of that, if anybody wants to come on the hot seat, want to talk about something, about the game, maybe something else, want to talk about Tom Brady's potential retirement, especially during the commercial breaks, we'd love to have you on. Just send us a request for that hot seat. We'll love to have you on.
Absolutely, we'll fire away, and especially at halftime, we'll try to get. We'll be giving the hot seat for about a minute to 5 minutes. I think there's actually going to be a new 3-minute feature at some point, but either way, hot seat during the game or at halftime, we'll be more than happy to get you on, as the Chiefs will get the ball back for their second possession. So now Cincinnati, they got the points. That was exactly the drive, maybe not exactly the drive they needed, but it was still a good enough drive to build on and to give that defense a little bit of a break. So now what does Cincy need to do defensively to basically manage, I guess, or deal with how they were marched on by the Chiefs on the last possession?
Turnovers. You got to play aggressive defense. You're not going to stop Kansas City's offense, period, end of story. So the best way to try to counter it is create turnovers.
Can they force a field goal?
Yeah, sure, anything. The best way to have that happen is penalties, like offensive penalties, right? But yes, obviously you can, and it's not. And I don't think Kansas City's gonna score on every single drive. They're not gonna pull a Buffalo against New England the other week. But sorry, New England fans, but also not sorry, you're New England fans. You got a hot mic there, Mike. So
a hot seat request. Who's requesting the hot seat?
No, I'm saying your microphone. We can hear whatever you got going on in the background there.
That's the
Uzama is carted off the field.
That's the broadcast. Yes, Uzama is indeed carted off, and that is a terrible loss and a terrible sight to see for the Bengals there. And that, just wish him all the best. He got off on his own power though. Like that's what I don't understand. Like he somehow got off the field.
He was hopping, and again, that hyperextension could be nasty. It looks like it's exactly what it was. That could have led to a tear, and I don't think we're going to see him back in this game or this playoffs if Kansas City's able to pull this, or if Cincinnati's able to pull this game out.
Drew Sample and Mitch Wilcox are the backups for the Cincinnati Bengals at tight end, but CJ Uzomah is just a tremendous tight end weapon for them, and really allowed, honestly, in my opinion, what allowed Higgins and Boyd and Chase to do what they've done all season for the Bengals.
Yeah, and I mean, the good news for Cincinnati fans is that Drew Sample is very capable, and he had a really good first year. But he did get beat out by Uzomah for this starting tight end role. So they do have a capable second tight end, but we'll see what.
So Mahomes on first down goes deep, and it is caught by Hardman, tackled inside the 30-yard line on the Cincinnati side of the field.
Oh, they don't even look at. Oh, interesting. I guess I was going to say that.
I think he was tackled, but what a throw by Mahomes and a catch by Mecole Hardman down the left sideline for a big play by the Chiefs on first down of their second possession.
Too many threats, Mike. They just got too many threats. Let's just see if he gets the completion here. He definitely tucks it away here, and he's
tackled. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. He's down. Just want to make sure there. And
that could have been one of those. Yeah, that's the end of the first quarter here. 7-3. The Chiefs will be already knocking on the door inside of Cincinnati territory, but that could have very well been one of those situations where you see like a premature celebration where it's like they're not quite tackled yet or not quite in the end zone yet, and then they throw the ball away to celebrate. I know that's what you thought it might have been there right at first, but he was indeed down. So again, big play by Mecole Hardman and the Chiefs on first down there.
Yeah, absolutely, Mike. Absolutely. And I'm just taking a peek at this Canada game, and it's still 1-0 Canada against the USA. My grandmother's is growling at the thought of it. But yeah, what a first quarter. And again, we'd love to have somebody on the hot mic. If anybody wants to come in on that hot mic and chat with us for a bit, we love to have you here. Thank you for all the support so far, everybody. And what do we expect to see at the start of this second quarter? I expect to see another touchdown with Kansas City, Mike.
Yeah, me too. I mean, they're making it 14-3, and then the Bengals at least they started moving the ball well offensively. But the issue for Cincinnati, though, is that they started with the football. So that means Kansas City will get the ball in the second half. And I always have to say that I always like to defer and start with the ball in the second half so you can manage the game, or you have the opportunity at least to manage the game and start with a strong possession in the second half and double up the score late and early at the half break, basically. But yeah, it's Cincinnati right now. I think it's going to come down to, can their defense maybe not stop Kansas City, but at least keep them out of the end zone.
Yeah, Mike, and it's the answer to stopping Kansas City is don't. Sorry, 1 second here. I'm just trying to readjust my camera here. Sorry, my apologies there.
That's all good.
Yeah, you don't stop them. You just have to create turnovers. And so again, if you're Cincinnati, you need to play as aggressive of a defense as you can. You need to pull. You have to consistently pull blitzes, force that ball out of Mahomes' hands quickly, and hope for a turnover in the secondary by your secondary. But again, that's asking for a lot. You also need to maintain that run game, which is starting to really impact the game suddenly. Again, not something I expected at the start. But again, that run game opens up the rest of the offense for those deep threats, and they have too many. Every single one of the receivers can catch the ball deep. Pringle, Hardman, and of course Tyreek Hill. And never mind, Kelsey as well is also a deep threat, one of the only deep threat tight ends in the league. So it's just a perfect disaster for Cincinnati, and they need to be able to create turnovers if they want to try to stop the bleeding and get the ball back to be able to put some points on their own.
And McKinnon opens this second quarter with a very nice run over the right side, a gain of at least 8 there. So and that's the thing, Kansas City has been winning on first downs with these big runs by Jerick McKinnon, who gained 7, and right now he is at 5 carries for 31 yards already.
Yeah, that's incredible, Mike. That's just those numbers again for somebody that everybody forgot existed too. I have so much respect for McKinnon and his resilience over his career.
So second and short for the Chiefs here, just inside the 25-yard line. Mahomes off play action, looking left. He throws over the middle. It is incomplete, off the hands of Tyreek Hill, who could not quite haul that in with a diving attempt. So 3rd and 3, arguably a big third down for the Chiefs, or for the Bengals defense, I should say. But is this 4-down territory for the Chiefs if they don't get it?
No, this is probably not because you're field goal range, but I mean, depending
long field goal range.
Yeah, you're right. If it's close enough, they will go for it, but they might take the field goal here. This is borderline. Nah, I think they take the field goal, Mike. I think they do if they don't get it, unless it's like the 4th and 1, which.
Well, let's see if they get it first. Mahomes, he's scrambling, looking right, dumps off to McKinnon, who has the first down, out across the 15-yard line, inside the red zone, making it look easy. Chiefs keep the chains moving.
Yeah, they're not bringing pressure here, Mike, and it's because they're dropping so many people back in that secondary and for zone coverage and whatnot. But they're just not getting pressure, and you can't give Mahomes time. He makes things happen, which he'll make openings and he'll make completions where quite literally no other quarterback can do the way he does. And so I don't understand what's going on with this front line for Cincinnati right now. They're just sleeping. They need to bring pressure. They need their playmakers to step up and make plays. They need Trey.
Mahomes dumps it off to Tyreek Hill, by the way. Catch and run for a gain of about 7. Catch, but not much run there. So, like you said, I think that's the adjustment, though, to what you're saying. The adjustment that teams have made against the Chiefs. Welcome Beham to the cast. That's the adjustment that teams have made in terms of taking away the deep pass. But the Chiefs have readjusted and have opened up a bunch of routes underneath for Patrick Mahomes to try to hit. And, of course, Mahomes can still pick up the chains or pick up gains with his legs. So that's really tough to defend on the defensive side either way, and that's what makes the Chiefs so explosive. As we're here on 2nd and 4, Hardman motions to the right. Mahomes hands it off to McKinnon, who gets a nice gain of about 3. That'll set up 3rd and short.
Yeah, and again, they're using McKinnon. I haven't seen Clyde Edwards-Helaire yet, Mike. Because I didn't see him in the injury report prior, so they're just using the hot hands right now, and McKinnon is the hot hand right now. So very interesting. Very interesting. The story behind McKinnon coming into this game, and I mean, I love it. I'm going to keep talking about it because it's such a heartwarming tale. The fact that he's actually in this game right now. But first, we got a big 3rd down coming here. Watch out for Travis Kelce in this red zone.
So Mahomes on 3rd and 2, looking left, pumps. Mahomes times runs out. Mahomes still scrambling, gets away from pressure. He's going to run maybe himself, throw it to the end zone. It is caught by Travis Kelce. You called it, Ryan Silver. Travis Kelce puts the Chiefs up by 2 possessions, 13-3, and the Chiefs 2 possessions, 2 touchdowns. Kansas City, Arrowhead Stadium, Yeehaw Stadium at Arrowhead, I should say, is in a frenzy.
Oh, man. First of all, 1 for 1 on the predictions. Tony Romo, let's go. Tony Romo, stop. There was a penalty on this play here that this should have come back with a hold. Not a hold. This was an illegal block in the back right there. Not sure why it wasn't called. It was pretty clear as day to me. Regardless, though, what a play. Look at this finish. Look at this basketball finish by Mahomes there. Flicking the wrist as if he's throwing a 3-pointer. Unbelievable. Making it look absolutely easy. Again, Travis Kelce is the number 1 man to look for when it comes to the red zone. And here we go. Kansas City driving
Extra
down the
point
field.
by Butker is good. As it's 14-3. Welcome and go Big Blue into the cast as well. So 14-3, Kansas City. 12 minutes to go here, early 2nd quarter. Joe Burrow, the Cincinnati offense. This is now where the pressure starts to mount. I mean, even it feels like every single one of their drives has to amount in at least some points at this stage of the game.
That's what I said early, Mike. I said right out of the game, that's exactly what they have to do. They cannot let up on the offense, and they have to do it with their passing game. That's why it's so important to do that. Oh, man, sorry, just tuned into the soccer game. That's a horrible foul. It's still 1-0 for Canada, by the way, over the U.S. It looks like they're playing a great game here against the U.S. But as a side note, and happy place noted in the chat, thanks for that as well, happy place. Also want to take a moment to thank everybody. We're just nearing in on 1,000, like 16. Oh man, you guys are so supportive.
Welcome in P Lang to the cast as well. Yes, guys, we appreciate all of you guys tuning in, and it's been a very I don't want to say exciting game because it's 14-3, here and on YouTube. Yes, indeed. We have a couple of people on YouTube as well. If you are on YouTube though and you have an iPhone, make sure to tune in on Colorcast, of course, as we
please.
Yes. So look, it's been, I don't want to say an exciting game because it's not really close, but it's been, Kansas City's just been so fun to watch so far. And Patrick Mahomes, the way I know there was a penalty perhaps on the offensive line there for an illegal block in the back that wasn't called. Bill Vinovich's crew, who is calling this game, by the way, is known for not calling a lot of penalties, which honestly I don't mind. But if there's a block in the back or a pass interference like we've seen earlier in the game, that could also change the game, just like also the pass interference in the 2018 NFC Championship that wasn't called. But either way, we saw Patrick Mahomes just spin around 3 times, do 360s in the pocket to get away from pressure before scrambling out to his right and finding Travis Kelce in the end zone. So that was just really fun to watch. And either way, even if this is going to be a blowout, that's how Kansas City is going to do it. That's just going to be incredibly fun to watch. And I'm really excited for the rest of this game.
Mike, that's such a good point, that even if it does end up being a blowout, Kansas City makes blowouts look fun because they just continue with the creativity. You are right. I don't think this game is going to be a blowout. I think Kansas City, Cincinnati is going to drive down the field here again. And I think we're going to start seeing what, again, I call a slugfest, where the ball just keeps on getting tossed down the field and big play after big play is made. But again, I think Cincinnati is going to continue to trail the rest of the game, and I don't think they're going to be able to catch up. But we will see. I'd love to be proven wrong. I'd love for Cincinnati to get back in this game in an exciting fashion. I would prefer to see Kansas City win this game, but Cincinnati is again nothing to scoff at. They have played unbelievable football to get up to this point, and let's see what they could do on the next drive here, Mike.
Yes, let's see. So Kansas City will kick it off to Cincy. Evans hasn't returned one yet today, so we'll see if that changes now with the Bengals down by 2 touchdowns. And no, he will let it go to the back of the end zone. So Burrow and the Bengals will get another chance here with the ball. Again, down 14-3, early second quarter. They went 3-and-out in their first drive. They had a nice drive put together on their last possession, but they stalled in the red zone and had to settle for a field goal.
Burrow and the Bengals. That's a nice ring to it. I like that.
Burrow and the Bengals. It's the alliteration there.
Yeah, it is an alliteration. I love it. And we see Roger Goodell there taking a picture with somebody that looks like Bono, but wasn't sure who that was.
Yeah, so right now, 1st and 10 for the Bengals as Burrow, with pressure, has to get rid of it. Was that an illegal and intentional grounding? There was no one in the area.
Intentional grounding. That should be. That wide receiver was nowhere near that pass. That running back. I guess they're gonna say Mixon was in the area, but man, he did not throw that anywhere near Mixon. That should have been intentional grounding in my books. Look, he throws it near the offensive lineman here, not the running back, unless the low lineman was eligible in the play and nobody else knew about that, or we just didn't hear the announcement. They're not going to call it. Arguably should have. That's another interesting no call there, Mike.
Derek Nadi was there on the pressure with the linebacker as Mixon carries on a second down draw. He has a nice run, 1st down and more, just shy of the 40-yard line. But yeah, just that previous play looked like just a weird screen that never really got going. And Mike Dana and Derek Nadi blew it up. But here we see a nice run by Joe Mixon on 2nd down.
Yeah.
Welcome in Jordan G to the cast as well.
Yeah, thank you very much for this support, guys. What a play by Mixon on this 2nd down, being able to say, you know what, I refuse to let us just collapse here, and making a beautiful read through the hole, pounding through and getting that 1st down on his own. Great job.
Ooh. 2nd down, and first down, it's a play by Chase off a jet sweep to pick up a nice gain of 2.
Yeah, nice gain of 2. That sounds like a bit of an oxymoron, doesn't it? But,
yeah, I know, because it had potentially just couldn't quite break the corner, couldn't quite turn the corner. And
he ran a lot of yards to get very few.
Basically,
yards, unfortunately.
But, gain of 3, 2nd and 7. So.
Second is nice gain of 3 then, Mike, I suppose.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
you got to pick up.
Every yard is so tough to gain in the NFL, so it is. Any gain is a nice gain. You can argue unless it's short on a 3rd or 4th down. But anyway, 2nd and 7 here for Burrow and the Bengals. Burrow is under center with again Chase motioning to the left, They go run to Mixon over the right side, and Mixon is swallowed up after a not very nice gain, a minimal gain of 1 to set up 3rd and 6.
Yeah, this is a mistake in the read by Mixon too. He could have either gone outside further or cut that inside for a couple extra yards. He decides to try to follow a block, but that was way too close to it, and he ended up getting caught with the legs there. That was a mistake by Mixon, and honestly, I don't understand. Look at this. Look at the stat: 52 yards from Mixon, 50 for the rest of the team. Why is that the case? You can't win the game off the legs of Mixon, Cincinnati. Throw the ball. I don't understand what their game plan is going into this game against Kansas City. It is clearly wrong.
So 3rd and 6, though, Burrow has to dump it off quickly to P-Ryan out of the backfield, but it is incomplete. So 4th and 6 coming up, and right now the Bengals offense they're in a bit of a rough situation as they're going to have to punt the ball back to the Chiefs, who scored 2 touchdowns in 2 possessions. He almost did.
I think he hit the arm of Burrow on the cock back there, and I think that's what caused that strange errant throw there. But there wasn't really anywhere else to go. Honestly, horrible job by Burrow not stepping out of the pocket and getting a first down on his legs there. It was wide open for the taking. He just kind of froze in the pocket there. This pressure is getting to him early, Mike,
and that's also why as we see a punt here by Huber that goes out of bounds out across the 20-yard line. So that's where the Chiefs will start their next offensive possession. But just to answer that, though, Ryan, I would say they're trying to protect Burrow because they're like, you know what, Burrow got sacked 9 times last weekend. So that's probably why they're not going to the air deep as much, because they just go on Burrow to get sacked. So that could be their dilemma is, do we want to expose Burrow to Chris Jones, Melvin Ingram, and Frank Clark, or do we want to try to dink and dunk down the field and allow Burrow to stay upright, so that way maybe they try to play more coverage, and then when they start playing a little more coverage, they'll be able to go for more of an intermediate pass game instead of a short pass game. And anyway, that's the dilemma to me, and why I think they're maybe going for something more conservative and not going for the deep ball just yet.
Mike, I can't get behind the conservative play. You're already down 14-3, and it's just about to get worse right now. And you're giving yourself a deeper hole for a long-term game that's not going to be effective anyways. You're not going to be running the ball later in this game. So establishing the run seems counterintuitive, right? The concept of establishing the run is being able to make the defense unable to predict if they're going to run or pass it.
But Ryan, it's not.
Action plays and deep ball plays.
I'm not talking about establishing the run, though. I'm not talking about establishing the run as we welcome in user NGG Sports to the cast here. It's not about establishing the run. I'm talking about just moving the football and keeping Joe Burrow upright. Because if Joe Burrow gets pressured, chances are he's going to get sacked. And when he gets sacked, then you're dealing with 2nd and 15, 2nd and 17, 3rd and 15, 3rd and 17. You're dealing with 3rd and long scenarios, so which they've been able to avoid to their credit so far.
I'd rather deal with the occasional sack and then having to settle for 3 yards a game, Mike. And that's just what they've got so far. They're just getting nothing. And they had that one good drive where they were starting to figure it out, but they utilized the pass game a lot more in that drive. So
what strategy would you go with? Yeah, sorry, Ryan. Just want to ask the chat, what strategy would you go with? Let us know in the chat in the comment section. As we have our over 1,000 likes, by the way, guys. Really appreciate the support and the love in the audience. We have a lot of people here, a lot of awesome people here tuning in. Really appreciate that, both again on Colorcast and on YouTube. But again, if you are on YouTube and able to tune in on Colorcast, then we encourage you to please do so. But as we said, just thank you so much to those that have been tuning in. And again, we're going to keep you guys entertained and engaged, and just make it fun for this AFC Championship weekend, this Championship Sunday. But first, the Chiefs, though, they get the ball back just inside their 30-yard line. They got to the Cincinnati 30 in one play last time. Let's see what they do here. They just go draw to Clyde Edwards-Helaire, who gets his first carry of the game to gain about 3 on first down.
Yeah, there he is. And again, I expect to see CEH in this game a little bit more. I can't imagine they're just going to be game planning him out of the game. That'd be a very strange thing to witness. But we so far it has been the Jerick McKinnon show when it comes to the running game. And it doesn't matter who they're handing the ball off to or throwing it to right now. Kansas City's just getting it done on all cylinders. I expect this game to be 21-3 in a moment.
Free play possibly coming up here. Someone jumped early. Mahomes goes deep down the left side. That ball's in the air forever, and Hardman can't quite bring it in, but they will get a 5 yards. I don't know. That ball was in the air forever. I don't know about you. That looked like an arm punt almost, but it was perfectly placed, it seemed, but Hardman couldn't quite locate it.
I think he just missed the ball in the air. Maybe he got a glare of the sun or something because that ball was right on his hands. I don't know what happened there. That should have been an easy completion and honestly a touchdown, Mike. What a throw by Patrick Mahomes, showing off the arm strength. Something that people also underrate on him. I mean, nobody underrates Patrick Mahomes, but one thing people forget about is that he can bomb the ball as well, 60 yards in the air as well. So
as they go draw to Edwards-Helaire, he picks up a first down and more just shy of the 45-yard line. But yeah, that ball looked literally, like I said, like an arm punter. Like he threw that like almost seemingly 60 yards in the air, never mind 60 yards down the field.
You're right, Mike. No, that's what I meant. Like he had 60 air yards on that ball, let alone the pass. I think even more. That might have been a 70-yard throw right there, and he makes it look easy too. But nonetheless, that was his only incompletion too, Mike. His only incompletion was when his receiver could not find the ball. Patrick Mahomes is something special, man. This is something special. He deserves another title. He deserves many more to come in the years too, potentially. We'll see.
He does indeed on first down. Mahomes looking over the middle. He has a catch to Kelsey, who makes a man miss before turning back inside, out across the 40-yard line to set up the Chiefs once again in Cincinnati territory.
Yeah, this is just too much time in the pocket yet again. Again, there's no pressure from the Cincinnati front line, and it's just letting Mahomes just pick them apart here. The fact that he's just able to look, no pressure whatsoever, make an easy, uncontested throw, and then Kelsey just does the rest. Having the awareness that he could spin that inside and get some extra yards is just some elite level play there for Travis Kelsey. But what's Cincinnati doing? I don't know what their game plan going into this game is, but they're not operating pressure whatsoever. And I think they're just trying to play too conservative both defensively and offensively. And that's not the play.
Edwards-Helaire gets the delayed handoff on first down. He has a first down and more, just shy of the 20-yard line. Big run by Clyde Edwards-Helaire on first down. Chiefs just knocking on the door of the red zone yet again.
Some friendly fire from Awuzie there. He actually hit the helmet of his own teammate going in for the tackle. It looks a little comedic here. I just hope he's not hurt. Watch him go in for the tackle, completely miss altogether, and his head just smacks into his own teammate. You'll see it on the replay here.
That's what we're seeing right now. Yes, so it was his own linebacker. Yes.
Yeah.
Jermaine Pratt just ran right into him. At least they brought him down. They didn't run into each other and completely miss the tackle. But
he was brought down from behind the tackle. Yeah, that's why I guess it looked a little deceiving for him because he went for where he thought Clyde Edwards-Helaire would be, but he tripped before it. So it just led to something very dangerous. But it looks like Awuzie is okay. Just needed a second to shake off the stars, I suppose.
Welcome in Link 17 to the chat here as the Chiefs are knocking on the door of the red zone here. Lynx has been one of the really awesome casters here on Colorcast as well. So glad to have you here, Lynx, as the Chiefs
super supportive team too.
Handoff to Clyde Edwards-Helaire. He escapes one tackle behind the line of scrimmage. Still trying to cut up field before being gang tackled. He's still cutting up field.
Hell yeah.
Moves the pile forward for a gain of 5 after what seemed to be a gain of nothing. Edwards-Helaire gains 5. 2nd and 6 coming up, or gains 4, I should say.
Hey, look at this. He first takes out the first defender, then a second one, gets caught in the scrum when it's essentially here, and he wasn't even his offensive lineman. I can't even say the offensive lineman helped him that much this year. This was almost entirely him, just pushing 3 defenders and still getting the outside and the momentum on his side and getting for 4 yards where it should have been -1. Great play.
One of the most impressive 4-yard gains you'll see as Mahomes on second down has time, gets it out left to McKinnon out of the backfield. He'll try to plunge his way for the first, but can't quite make it as Hubbard made a great tackle.
Yeah, this is where
stop his forward momentum. 3rd and short.
This is where he needed Pringle to come in there and give him a little push. And to be able to.
I don't know if Pringle would have been able to push him past what we saw from Sam Hubbard there.
I'm not saying he would have, but he needed the help and he didn't get it. But nonetheless, it was still a good play. McKinnon comes in. Clyde Edwards-Helaire gets some breather on the sideline, and I expect him to hand this ball off again to this is my second call of the day. I expect him to hand it off to McKinnon again.
So let's see what they do on third and short. Let's see if Ryan can go for two for two, and if the Chiefs can go 4 for 4 on third down. Mahomes over the middle, first down to Kelsey across the 10 in the red zone, inside the 15, tackled just around the 2-yard line. So the Chiefs 4 for 4 on third down. Ryan 2 for 2 on predictions. Chiefs have first
1
and
for
goal.
2. Wow, 1 for 2. I said run. I wish it was 2. I can't take the credit on that one. They had me fooled. They had everybody fooled. And Kelsey is just.
They got the first down though.
Yes, absolutely. But the I can't take credit for that though. The linebacker just left in dire straits. There's absolutely nothing he could do in this play whatsoever. Left for dead out there against Travis Kelsey. And here we go, first and goal. Expect to be 21-3 at the end of this, man. As I said at the start of the drive, Cincinnati has not figured it out on defense or offense.
So first and goal for the Chiefs. Mahomes wide open to the right side to Hardman, who has a Chiefs touchdown. Kansas City, Nicole Hardman puts the Chiefs up big here, 16-3, 20-3, I should say, pending the extra point. Chiefs 3 for 3 in terms of touchdowns and possessions.
Yeah, he's sharing the man. Mahomes is sharing the love with everybody right now. He got 3 different touchdowns to 3 different receivers, all before the half. This game is already 21-3, and Cincinnati is already looking down a hole that they have to figure something out fast. And again, like I said, Mike, they are playing so conservative defense, and it's not working. They have to stop this nonsense. They need to bring heavy pressure at the line if they want any chance. And I know you're thinking, but Ryan, then what happens when Mahomes just beats you deep? Well, you're getting beat anyways. You need to take a chance at these things. You can't just keep getting beat on these easy drives. You're already down 18 points. Get moving, Cincinnati. Smarten up. Taylor, figure out your game plan, and you have to readjust it. I know it's hard to have a whole concept of what you're going to do to win a game going in, and it not working. But a sign of a good coach is one that can adjust and be able to change what that plan is based on what he's given during that day. And if he wants to be considered a good coach and not just a John Gruden style, my team's so good, it doesn't matter how bad of a coach I am, he needs to figure it out here. I hate the play calling he's put so far together here. Him as offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator should be ashamed of themselves in this game right now. They've had a great job all season getting this team to where they are, but they are failing themselves. They need to smarten up and find a way back into this game. Their players are playing perfectly fine if they're being failed by their coaches.
We welcome in Uzer Doozer into the cast, and I just love how much the John Gruden hate is endless for Ryan.
I really don't like John Gruden.
Yeah, which honestly, I enjoyed listening to him on Monday Night Football. He won a Super Bowl with the Tampa Bay Bucks way back in 2002, I want to say, but just I don't.
No, it was no. He won. Didn't he win? No, he won with the Oakland Raiders.
I was with the Bucks, I'm pretty sure, in 2002 with that defense, with the Tampa 2 defense. Unless that was Tony Dungy. I'll have to look it up. Anyway. But yeah, just also public service announcement. Just if you can find a PT Cruiser with a sunroof, Uzer Doozer would really appreciate that. PT Cruiser for Uzer Doozer. Just let us know in chat if you have one here in Ontario and Quebec or in the US. Let us know in the chat.
That car craze of the PT Cruisers was long ago. I remember I used to play a little game with my family where we used to play PT Cruisers instead of punch buggies. But it was when they were live. They were alive, especially in America. They were absolutely so popular. But man, I haven't heard I haven't seen or heard of a PT Cruiser in a while.
I saw one yesterday. That's why I'm bringing it up, because I saw one yesterday and I called Uzer Doozer and I'm like, hey, should I try to ask the owner or post like a little slip in the dash to ask if the owner is willing to sell his PT Cruiser? But I saw after the fact that it didn't have a sunroof, and I found out that Uzer Doozer was looking for a sunroof. So anyway, that's just I just want to. I want to get a PT Cruiser for Uzer Doozer if possible. Or I want him to find a PT Cruiser. So
97 Nissan Maximus is number one. Not quite the same. Not quite the same.
You take what you can get, right? You take what you can get. So put it this way, I love the. Anyway, just wanted to put that out there as we see the QB comparison here. Mahomes 13 for 14. That was like my grade on my grade 1 math test. 13 for 14. So
and 6 for 13 is closer to mine, Mike. So
yeah, that was my score on my calculus quiz, probably in Sage at best. We'll see a return here from Evans inside the 10. He cuts up the field, a nice return out across the 30-yard line. So Cincy will get their best field position of the game on this drive.
Yeah, good start. I mean, that's what they need. The new spark here. They need to get 7 on the board. Period. End of story. No ifs, ands, or buts. And there's one guy that they need to start looking towards, and they're highlighting him on the screen. That's Jamar Chase. They need to find a way to get that ball in his hands. He is being covered very well so far. Jamar needs to create separation and make those big plays that get Cincinnati back in this game. You want to be back in this game, you can't be scoring by 3. You can't be down by a 3-score deficit by halftime, Cincinnati. Get it together. So Kansas City gets the ball back first too, Mike. You only got 5 minutes on the clock. You got to make some magic happen.
Burrow on the first play goes to Chase, who escapes one tackle, but he cannot escape the second tackle there by Charvarius Ward, but he still picks up a decent gain of 5.
Yeah, give the ball to the playmakers. Let them make plays. Obviously, he made the first tackle miss. He wasn't able to get past the second one. But again, this is what happens when you give the ball to playmakers. And you'll get positive yardage, and they'll make plays. It sounds like such a stupid and obvious thing to say, but why are they doing it? Why is Jamar Chase only been targeted twice now in this game? 3 if you count the run play.
He only has 2 catches for 8 yards as Mixon takes the carry. He's in trouble behind the line of scrimmage. Could barely get back to the line of scrimmage. So third and medium coming up for the Chiefs.
Stop running the ball, you big dummies. You big, dumb, stupid poo-poo heads. What are you doing? My goodness, I love
that's number 1 on the poop count on this cast here.
God, it's just frustrating. What are you doing, Zach Taylor? Do what you can do. You have the assets on the passing game. Stop being an idiot. Oh, my goodness. You're supposed to know football. You haven't been able to get the run game established. Give up on it at this point. It is too late.
Yeah, yes, right. That's great. I love that analysis all day. We'll get there in a second. 3rd and 5, Burrow over the middle for a catch to T. Higgins this time. First down. And by the way, Ryan, love that. That was your best analysis of the day. You're a head coach in the NFL. You should know football.
You big poo-poo head.
You big poo-poo head. You should know football. You're an NFL head coach. That's the best. That's the best analysis that you will definitely have all day today.
I hope so.
Thanks.
I think my grandmother agrees with this one. She can't. She's giving me a look after calling something.
First down for the Bengals out across the 43-yard line. Burrow will fake the handoff to Mixon. He is in trouble though, and he has to get rid of it as he had a man right in his face off the corner blitz.
Yeah, that was premature. He did not have to throw it that fast. He had a couple seconds to try to run that to the outside. He's frustrated. You see, this wasn't just him throwing in the ball. This was him throwing it with like pure anger. Watch him, absolute vigor. He is pissed. Does not like the fact that he's in that big of a situation. And he's so known for staying calm and collected and cool. Throwing those sunglasses on and at night and making no just. But I think I see some emotion from Joe Burrow right now, and let's see how he can handle it.
We'll see if he can cool things down. Here's the play clock's at 1. He just gets the snap off. Burrow in a bit of trouble. Has to roll right. He throws it, and it is caught for a first down out across the 40-yard line. T. Higgins once again. Cincinnati is in the Chiefs' territory.
Get the ball rolling. Here you go, Cam. Here you go, Cincinnati. Great job. And more importantly, they're taking time off the clock for Kansas City on the opposite end. Because you have to at least have 12 seconds left or less for Kansas City is going to score on you. 13 seconds, not allowed. You cannot permit 13 seconds on the ball for Kansas City to get down and score a field goal on you. So run this clock down as far as you can. I'm actually okay with letting this ball run to the 2-minute warning, but they might snap it prior. But we'll see here.
Let's see if I have to go on the play clock. 3 on the game clock, and they will allow it to wind down to the 2-minute warning. By the way, on that previous play, I don't think I've ever seen Joe Burrow's eyes more wide open than that on that previous as he had on that previous play. But either way, the score is 21-3. at the 2-minute warning here in Kansas City, or here on Colorcast there in Kansas City, of the AFC Championship game. Chiefs up, having scored 3 for 3, trying to maybe match the Bills' record of going 7 for 7 and scoring touchdowns on all possessions. That was what the Chiefs have accomplished so far, as they lead 21-3 at the 2-minute warning. But the Bengals, they're driving, trying to maybe get some points on the board before half.
That would sure be impressive, Mike. If they could pull that off, oh my goodness, that would be mighty impressive. Yeah, like Cincinnati needs to get on the board, and don't, guys, we're going into halftime soon, and don't be like, well, this game's over. No, it's not. A couple of turnovers, and all of a sudden Cincinnati's back in this game. Especially if they get 7 points on the board here. Maybe, for whatever reason, they might be silly and go for a 2-point conversion on this play too, and try to make it to 21-11. I don't think they should do that. I think it's premature, but regardless of the case, I like to say that since he's still well in this game, but that's pending if they could get on the board on this drive. Settling for 3 is somewhat acceptable, I think, because it does make it a 2-possession game. But otherwise, you need to just get on the board regardless, and obviously touchdowns miles ahead of any other option.
So 2 minutes to go here. Again, when we come back from the commercial break here, the Bengals, they will have the ball in Kansas City territory again for the second time this game, at least. Well, they had their 2 drives end in punts, whereas the 1 drive ended in the lone field goal. But right now, they need to at least, if they're going to get a field goal on this drive, the least they can do is make sure that there are less than 13 seconds, I should say, when Kansas City touches the ball next, because obviously we know that that's how much time that they need to get into field goal range. So that's the least that Cincinnati can go for. Exactly. So
too much time, Mike. Too much time. But yeah, as we approach 2,000 likes here on the stream, just want to once again thank all of our humble and loyal viewers. Thank you so much for staying in, and please do not leave at halftime. We talk through halftime. We will have anybody that wants to be on the mic, the hot seat, come up here and chat with us. We'd love to hear some of your opinions on the games. We can talk about anything you want at halftime. We might be able to talk about the soccer game that's going on, which is probably going to be coming out of halftime very shortly. 1-0 for Canada, by the way, still. So please, don't flicker that remote, even though that's not applicable here, but that's the old saying. So stay tuned with us. We'd love to chat with you all at halftime. And let's see if Cincinnati can do something right here to finish off this drive.
Go run to the right side with Mixon, but he gets buried behind the line of scrimmage. Ryan, why are they running the football?
Because they're big, dumb poo-poo heads, Mike. Oh, my goodness.
Big dumb poo-poo heads. I just farted out of my nose right there.
With the draw play, and they just keep shooting themselves in the damn foot. I don't understand what they're doing. They're being a bunch of idiots here. And now they're letting too much clock run off the time. Like, now there's too much time running off the clock here. Not right now.
Which, again, isn't the worst thing, as we just passed 2,000 likes here, guys. Keep them flying in here. Really appreciate that in our audience. Really love the support, guys. And let's just get really excited for how the rest of this game is going to finish. Let's see what the Bengals do here on 2nd and 12. Burrow to the right side, quickly to Pirine, who has a bit of space. He will get a first down and more. Out across the 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Bengals! Samaje Pirine takes it 40 yards to the house to put the Bengals on the board with their first touchdown. This is all of a sudden a 21-9 game with the extra point pending.
Unbelievable! Mike, this is the same P. Ryan that caused the pick 6 the other way last time he played the game, not catching the ball properly. He makes an easy catch here, and he makes it look simple to rock into this touchdown. But this was an unbelievable play, being able to read his block. Beautiful block by Jamar Chase, not giving him any chance of getting to his back. Unbelievable job by Cincinnati. Way to get back in this game. Bad news, though. You left 1:05 on the clock with 2 timeouts for Kansas City.
So the extra point is good. So that is indeed possibly a factor. They scored. They got their touchdown. I think at this point, you got to be happy with the touchdown. You at the very least. But you could also be It is very possible that you could also be down 35-10 next time you touch the ball on offense, like with a possession in the second half.
It is possible, Mike, and that is just after getting a touchdown to make it a 2-possession game. Suddenly it's 35-10 before you blink. This is where the defense needs to step up. They need to bring pressure. You can get beat. You can get beat otherwise. I don't like the defensive approach this game so far whatsoever, and it hasn't worked. Change it up. Fix what you're doing. Force turnovers. That's the best way you have. That's the best opportunity you have at getting back into this game, Cincinnati. I love to hear what the rest of the chat thinks, though.
By the way, just want to acknowledge Jordan G before, who left the comment and said, Jordan G, who basically passed the bar, and he's going to write his final exam to become a lawyer later in this winter. So we wish obviously Jordan G all the best of luck. He's currently, I think he might be studying as he's tuned in right now. But if you're listening there, Jordan G, just thanks for tuning in. We wish you all the best of luck in terms of your studies as you prepare for this second round of your bar exam.
He doesn't need luck. He's got the brains for it. That's all.
Exactly.
You need that determination. You need to have that good old team. But good work, man. You're doing something very difficult.
And apparently the Bengals, they need those brains and determination as well in this defensive drive because, like you said, Ryan, they've been a bunch of poo-poo heads so far.
We do have to have a poo-poo counter going on here now.
My God. Well, you started it. I started it last time. You started it this time.
I know. I was just so frustrated. I'm still frustrated, and I need that. I need them to stop being idiots on the defensive side here, on the offensive side. But man, it's just it just seems so painstakingly obvious on what they're doing wrong, and it's frustrating to know that professional people that are considered to be experts are still pulling this nonsense. Be smarter, make adjustments. I know it's not halftime yet, so you're going to have the time to make adjustments going into the half. But as of right now, you need to figure out a way to just keep Kansas City off the board. You can't let them go 4 for 4 for touchdowns in the first half.
We welcome in GG Red onto the cast as well. Welcome so much. GG Red's been one of our big supporters as well among so many of you other awesome supporters here in the cast. So just thank you for joining in again, GG Red, as the Bengals will kick this one off after their quick touchdown by Samaje Perine. So McPherson kicks it a bit of a squib kick here. Let's see if this stays in bounds. It does. It'll be fielded inside the 10 by Pringle. He barely gets to the 20-yard line. So a good decision there by Cincinnati and their special teams unit to squib kick it.
I don't know why more people aren't doing this. I think it's great. I think it's more extended for both sides because it allows, like, a squib kick allows your defense to be able to get there, like your special teams unit to be able to get to the return team faster. But it also could result in, travesty on the other way. But I like it better like that. But McPherson placed it perfectly. That was like the thing. Like he placed it so perfectly. Unbelievable job. And to pin them back an extra 6 yards. So 13
seconds was enough time last week. Will a minute 5 be enough time as Hartman drops the pass by Mahomes, incomplete, just his second incompletion of the afternoon. So 2nd and 10 coming up for the Chiefs.
Yeah, I was just unfortunately Cincinnati played tight there because it could have been a pick the other way otherwise. But what are you going to do? Obviously, you have to make that play there. So good job from Cincinnati getting that first stop, though. More on the hands of Hardman messing up. But regardless, you'll take anything you get here. That's the second incompletion from Mahomes the entire game. So let's see if they can get 2 more quick stops here and get the ball back. Maybe have a chance to score.
Second and 10. 2nd and 10, Mahomes. Over the middle, they have all 3 timeouts. Mahomes goes deep over the middle. He has a catch to Tyreek Hill across midfield and still on his feet before going out of bounds into Cincinnati territory. Another big play for the Kansas City Chiefs and their offense. As again, it seems like no time. There's no such thing as not enough time for this offense to get points.
Oh, but look at how much time they have on the D. They only rushed 3. Isn't the opposite of what I would think they should do? They rushed 3, Mike. They rushed 3. They have 2 of their people on the line drop back. And you know what they dropped back to? Nothing. They were just sitting there doing nothing instead of bringing pressure to Mahomes. Unbelievable.
This time they bring 4, though. Mahomes to the left side has a catch to Hill again, and he gets clobbered at the 35-yard line. But that's enough for a first down, And the Chiefs, again, they're rolling
I
here.
haven't seen a
They have
single blitz.
all their timeouts still, and they have plenty of time to potentially not just get points in the form of a field goal, but they could get a touchdown here.
You're right, Mike. And like you said, all of a sudden it could be 35-10. It's just, what are the Bengals doing? I haven't seen a single blitz all game from them. I'm not saying there hasn't been one. I just haven't seen one yet. But they're bringing no pressure whatsoever. Mahomes is just having a heyday here. Feels like he's at like a non-contact practice at this point. He's been untouched this whole game. There's just no pressure, no knockdowns, nothing.
And when there has been any sort of pressure, that he's been escaping it.
Yeah, well, but it's a 3-man pressure. If they can bring 5, he tries to escape. He's running into a brick wall on the other end. But they're not. They're bringing 4-man pressure this whole game. Yeah, like 4 or 3, and it's just maniacal in my opinion. I think they're trying to spy Mahomes, which I guess I have some sympathy to. I can understand that, but I mean,
you can't have 11 guys spying Mahomes. You got to cover Hill and Kelsey and Hardman and Pringle.
Yeah, you don't have to cover anybody if you get Mahomes on the ground.
True. That is true.
The
first and 10, though, inside the 35. Mahomes steps up, gets it out quick to Kelsey, and he will pick up just a couple of yards short of the. I think he's just a little shy of the first down, but either way, nice pickup there to set up second and short as they'll go hurry up the line here.
They're taking it. Yeah, there we go. They had to hurry.
Yeah, they go hurry up. Mahomes goes to the middle, and he has another catch this time to Pringle out across the 15-yard line, and it looks like they will call another timeout here to stop the clock with 43 seconds to go, or 13 seconds to go, I should say.
Yeah, like that's the right call. You take 2 shots at the end zone and kick a field goal here. It's simple as that. You also could readjust the line, take a spike, and then kick the field goal, but I can't imagine that's what they're going to be doing here. They're definitely just going to they're going to take 2 quick looks at the end zone. You can trust Mahomes to throw in the back of the end zone. If there's nothing there, they take too much time with the first one. They're just going to kick the field goal and go to halftime with 3-possession lead and be laughing at the fact that Cincinnati hasn't been able to stop them on a single drive, Mike.
We welcome Immortal Jess into the cast here. So 21-10 is the score. 13 seconds to go here in the first half. The Chiefs are knocking on the door, looking to go 4 for 4 in terms of scoring touchdowns on all 4 of their possessions. They made it into field goal range with 13 seconds and all 3 timeouts last week. This time they're going to try to get into the end zone with 13 seconds and no timeouts. But from the 15-yard line of Cincinnati, Mahomes on first down looks to the end zone, and it is overthrown for Tyreek Hill. Probably wasn't there, but a flag comes in late. We'll see if that's a PI perhaps on the defensive back in coverage there. That would be huge for the Chiefs. Eli Apple, who's been dogged by the Giants fan base and the Saints fan base, but perhaps getting himself in trouble here for the Bengals now as he held Tyreek Hill there.
He's had some penalty trouble all of this playoff round. He's made a couple of good plays notably, but he's been, they're calling it a PI too. The ball was already in the air, Mike. This puts it at the 1-yard line, and now since he has 2 more plays to try to get in the end zone before they have to kick the field goal, because now that they're at the 1-yard line, Mahomes can just look at a play, say no chance, and bullet it back into the back of the end zone and still have enough time for 2 plays. Unbelievable, Mike.
So 9 seconds left, and Cincinnati will take one of their 3 timeouts that they haven't used yet. We welcome in SNS there to the chat as well. So, again, first and goal, 9 seconds to go here. First and goal from the 1-yard line because of the flag. Just Cincinnati is reeling right now on defense as they just have not been able to stop the Chiefs in any way, shape, or form this afternoon. And when they have, it's been in the form of penalties or in the form of incomplete passes, but the next play is a big 30-yard catch down the middle. So it's just they've been overwhelmed to say the least.
Yeah, and I once this drive's over, I want to quickly pry on that, and I want to further go into more detail on why I think that this approach from Cincinnati is absurd and just preposterously stupid. But we'll get into that after they score another touchdown here.
So first and goal, Mahomes scrambles left on a designed scramble, and he has to throw it into the ground incomplete, as I guess nothing was there. What he was looking for was not there, but there's still 5 seconds left for the Chiefs on second and goal here. How much time are you looking to use perhaps before kicking a field goal?
You are gambling so hard here if you don't just take the field goal. But this is where you need to just spike it in the dirt immediately if you don't see a play open up. And that's Mahomes. And so you have 1 second to read it and then decide if it's worth scrambling. Otherwise, you spike it right in the dirt. So let's see.
So second and goal, Mahomes throws it to Hill. He has to get to the end zone. He'll get tackled shy of the line to gain. So the Bengals will make the stop, and the Chiefs will not get any points before the half.
Eli Apple made a great play. Mahomes took too long on the decision, had to commit to throwing the ball, tried to get it to Hill. Again, he made it to a playmaker, but Eli Apple did not bite on this one at all. Look at him just stand and say, no chance, no, not happening today, buddy. He knew he had a man on his inside to help him with the tackle, so he was able to play the outside even more, gets his arm around him to start the tackle, and didn't actually need more, because Hill looked like he tried to go airborne and just let himself get tackled there. Bad mistake by Hill, the Kansas City offense. I'm not huge on that play call, but good job for Cincinnati's defense. Got to give them a little bit of credit finally there. But yeah, we're going into halftime. I'm going to switch it over here to the soccer game.
I just want to welcome in Steph Cast here. Want to welcome in Steph Cast here as well. But yeah, just like this, it might be 21-10. That's the score at halftime here. As just once again, want to say a big thank you before we get into that whole discussion of how Cincinnati's just been arguably on their heels, just overwhelmed this entire game. And we could talk about that a second, Ryan, but I just want to say, again, a huge thank you to our wonderful audience and both on Colorcast and here on YouTube. If you are on YouTube, though, be sure to tune in on Colorcast if you have an iPhone, if you can. If you don't, then that's fine. Just thank you so much for tuning in on youtube.com/Langer at the mic, but make sure that you're in on Colorcast if you can be. So yeah, just Ryan, just look, on the one hand, yeah, Cincinnati has been mis-executing or just playing overly conservative in this game so far, but that was a potential game-saving play. You can say that with any play, but that was a huge play to end the half where the Chiefs didn't even get a field goal, where they arguably mismanaged the clock and couldn't even get points when they were in a great position to do so.
Yeah, they took a gamble there and it didn't pay off. And honestly, there's not a lot of teams I support the gamble with, but I could support it with Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. If you're somebody like Green Bay or Patrick or like Buffalo, just a high scoring, high percentage on like touchdown team, I could understand those plays. And so whatever. Nonetheless, you're still up 2 possessions. You're still laughing. You're getting the ball back first at halftime. Taking the points might have been the smarter play there and just kick a field goal at that point. But
5 seconds left. They went for the end zone.
Yeah, I know. And again, like I said, if you want to run a play, Mahomes had 1 second to make a decision, and he did not make that decision in that 1 second. So then you had to commit to the rest of the play, and there was just nothing there. And Eli Apple making up for that bad penalty he took with a great play. And he did that last time too. That last game too, he had a horrible penalty, and then made up for it with I think it was an interception that he got actually. So just making up for it immediately. So good job for Eli Apple, even if he's a hot head.
But then again, though, Ryan, I do want to say I have a theory that perhaps either I think Patrick Mahomes might have actually forgot how many timeouts were left or how many timeouts they had left, because maybe it was just a desperation attempt to be timeout at the end of the half there. I don't know if you saw that, but you saw a shot of Patrick Mahomes just signaling for a timeout. So you have Maverick requesting the hot seat here. We'll get you on in a second there, Maverick. But I'm wondering if maybe Andy Reid and the Chiefs are like, you know what? If we don't score here, we're cool with that. We're okay if we don't score because they haven't stopped us all game. So we'll get the ball back to start the second half. So who cares if we don't score a touchdown? We'll take we'll go all or nothing here, and we can afford to do so. And I think that maybe they're okay with it.
Yeah, maybe. And you're right. And let's get Maverick on the hot seat, and then afterwards I want to talk about Cincinnati's defensive approach. Let's do it. Hot seat here.
He will be on just in a second here.
The performers are
there. He is.
Hip hop stars. You should know Dr. Dre though.
Yeah, of course.
But a lot of modern hip hop stars. Welcome in, Maverick. How you doing there, buddy?
Welcome, Maverick. Thank you very much,
Thank
Mav.
you so much.
Really appreciate you tuning in, and appreciate you joining us on the hot seat. What do you got for us today at halftime?
I think that's a big error on the part of Andy Reid. He's a great coach. Seldom makes errors like that, but I think in the situation when you've only got 5 seconds left and you got no timeouts and you're on the 1 yard line, you tell Mahomes, okay, you're doing either a quick slant or a fade. And if you don't see it right away, you throw the ball to the back of the end zone and you pick for free. I mean, he picked a play that unfortunately got stopped and they lost a chance at 3 points, which could be huge for the rest of the game. You never know, right?
Yeah,
I agree with you, Maverick. I agree with you, and I do know like Andy Reid has had issues managing the clock. Like that's his one weakness, I guess, as a coach, as an offensive-minded head coach, is his game management, his clock management. Historically, that's the mantra over Andy Reid. But I will say, if he's actually thinking that we have 5 seconds left, and if we don't get in the end zone here, we don't care because we're that good, and because Cincinnati hasn't shown that they could stop us all game, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
It's such a potent offense for Kansas City, and the Bengals obviously haven't been able to do much to stop it the whole game. They did score 3 touchdowns in the first half. But, it's a game of inches. Sometimes 3 points come back to bite you.
Yeah, and like we've seen that happen in many of the games, like missed field goals leading to what eventually ends up being a loss. You saw it with Buffalo, you saw it with Tennessee, you saw it with like just so many games this weekend or last weekend. And so like you're right that it just feels like Kansas City is one of the teams that shouldn't matter with, but you're right. The points were guaranteed there, and the fact that they get the ball at halftime too just puts the chance to put the game away, even without the touchdown. Like just the field goal and the touchdown afterwards. Just feels like this game is already kind of. Yes, exactly. And I think that would have just been nasty. We have 2 minutes left here on the hot seat here. I want to ask you about Tom Brady. We haven't talked about him on the show yet. What do you think of the rumors that he is going to be, the reports that he is going to be retired?
I mean, the guy is a freaking nature. He's 44. He's putting up MVP numbers. He's got 7 Super Bowls. What else does he have left to prove, really?
Cool. Well, you're talking to. It's not hard to focus on his wife. It's not. You don't need a lot of effort to focus on her. She's, but she's a beautiful woman. But no, I agree that the numbers speak for themselves. But you are speaking to somebody in this podcast here, not putting out any names that doesn't think that Tom Brady's the GOAT. And so. I also want to hear with that gentleman in particular, not naming anybody right now, but it's also not me.
Who is it? I don't know. Who is it? No, I know. So, look, honestly, though, I'll get into it in a little bit. But yeah, just Maverick. I know you have another minute left here on the hot seat, so I just want to, I want you to have your shine and just let us know what are your thoughts for the second half? Does Cincinnati come back, and if they do, how do they do it?
You know what? It's obviously going to be tough. I mean, they're down 2 possessions right now. It's Kansas City's offense. I mean, if you can't stop their offense, how can you stop them, right? And they haven't shown any propensity to stop the offense the whole game. If you're going to get into a shootout, Kansas City, you're going to lose. That's as simple as that. They're going to outscore you. But you got to be able to stop them somehow. So I don't know. It's up to Zach Taylor and this Bengals team to figure out a way to limit Mahomes and limit the completions and limit the yardage.
Thanks for coming on, buddy. Really appreciate it. Thanks for all the support. We got an exciting half of football coming up next too.
Okay, thanks guys. Thanks a lot.
Yeah,
yes.
No
Thank you very much, Maverick 86. Again, make sure you give him a follow. I may make sure. Yes, I do. I gave him a follow now, so yeah, make sure you give Maverick 86 a follow. Thank you for joining the hot seat. Okay, so honestly, Ryan, I am so happy we made it this far without talking about Tom Brady. I have a whole theory about First of all, I don't believe anything. First of all, I don't believe anything until he comes out and says that he's retiring. Because you look at all these big athletes. Look, you saw Ben Roethlisberger. You see all whenever a big athlete retires, they usually come out and say it themselves on their Instagram, their Twitter, social media, whatever. They'll say, "I'm retiring. Thank you for I'm retiring from the game of football, and thank you for all the great years and whatever. Then thank you this." They come out and say it themselves. So I don't believe anything until I hear it from Tom Brady and his family, and from his agent, as his agent said that any reports on Tom Brady retiring or not will come from me or Tom Brady himself. So, but here's the thing: I'm almost theorizing that it's championship weekend without Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers. And don't you think that maybe Tom Brady would want to make something of it and make it kind of about and direct some of that attention on the Bengals, Chiefs, 49ers, and Rams, and take some of that attention for himself? Don't you think?
Not even a little bit, no.
So why do you think that there's this whole story about him possibly retiring the day before championship weekend?
Because one or two things. One, he might be retiring and just somebody in the office leaked it. Or two, rumors are stupid and people just blabber on about stuff they don't know about. And somebody heard something from somebody, leaked it, false information just for the sake of press. And, and then it just got spiraled out of control, and everybody wants to jump at the fact that Tom Brady's retiring if there's a word about it, because it's understandable that the guy would retire at this point. So I don't think it has anything to do with Tom Brady. It doesn't sound very.
Because don't you think it would be don't you think I disagree? Don't you think it would be very Tom Brady-esque for a story to leak about him retiring, only for him to come back and say, you know what, because of all those leaks of me retiring came out, I'm going to prove you all wrong and come back for another season and try to win an 8th Super Bowl again? Don't you think that would not that is yes. Exactly. That is Tom Brady in a nutshell. That could not be more Tom Brady-esque. On the day before championship weekend also.
That doesn't mean he caused the rumors to come out, though. That's what I'm saying. It's just like, that doesn't
Are we sure about that?
You can't.
Because because when Ian Rappaport and Adam Schefter and all these, and you have his teammates also, Mike Evans tweeting, "Thank you, big bro, for playing and for being a buck and whatever." Like when you have his own players and reliable media sources or insiders leaking the fact that he retired, something legitimate had to have come to the forefront about him retiring for them to report that, because you never ever see Adam Schefter or Ian Rappaport come out and report things that aren't official. When you have a check mark of things being reported or made official, usually it's made official. So this is one of those rare instances where it's not official, and it happens to be around Tom Brady's retirement. And here we are talking about Tom Brady on championship weekend when he's not a part of it, and there are 4 really great teams that are a part of it, and I'd rather talk about those 4 really great teams than talk about Tom Brady personally.
You just hate Tom Brady, man. It's so not fair.
Because don't you see what he's doing? This is exactly what he wants. This is exactly what he wants.
Mike, this is a conspiracy. It doesn't mean it's not true. It doesn't mean that you're wrong. I'm just saying that you're taking something that's super unlikely and assuming it's clearly the case. And I just it's unlikely that what you're saying is true. It is possible, but it is unlikely that what you are saying is true. Okay. And so,
anyway, look, Ryan, I want to brush that off because yes, we're about to start the second half here between the Bengals and the Chiefs. The Chiefs will obviously get the ball as we see the ads for the halftime show. We saw CTV showing ads. I know we had these chats we couldn't get to before. CTV just showed an ad promoting the Super Bowl halftime show. The performers are indeed, I think you answered that before, Ryan, Dr. Dre and a bunch of
it's Dr.
rappers.
Dre with Khalifa.
Hold on. I have it right here. So 2021 or 2022.
Mary J. Blige, I believe.
Yeah. Snoop Dogg. Yeah, so that's a pretty decent lineup. You know, that's a pretty decent lineup, I will say.
I think it's a great job.
But I'm saying from for us and number one dad and Ivanka standpoint, who wants to settle for Shania or McCartney or Bruce Springsteen or the Stones, they could get worse than Snoop Dogg and Little Whammy. Lil Wayne. Funny story. My dad actually called Lil Wayne Little Whammy once. So anyway, they could do a lot worse.
Kendrick Lamar is very talented, and I do, he's one of the guys that got me more into hip hop and rap. So when I used to be a strong hater of those genres, so he's very talented. He makes some great music. Everybody loves Snoop Dogg because he's just a fun dude. and his music's good too. And then we got Mary J. Blige, who's just a great R&B artist and hip hop artist. And then Dr. Dre is, he speaks for himself. He's an absolute legend, producer.
So we kicked this off. We kicked off the second half here as Byron Pringle returns it from his own end zone. Will get tackled around the 20-yard line. Didn't mean to cut you off there, Ryan. As we welcome a 49ers fan, Scody, to the chat as well. Scody, let us know how you're feeling about your upcoming matchup with the LA Rams in the NFC Championship game. And obviously be sure to tune in for our cast of that as well. We're going back-to-back here at the championship weekend. So, just sorry to cut you off there again, Ryan, in terms of the rappers and hip-hop artists. And we've seen some really good halftime shows. We saw the weekend last year. It turned into a meme where he got lost in his whole, golden set there. But anyway, we're here on First Down. The Chiefs to begin the second half. They have the ball at their own 21-yard line. Mahomes will motion in McKinnon. And from the gun in 11 personnel, Mahomes will hand it off to McKinnon, who will plunge forward for a nice gain of 7, finding the hole patiently, and he gained 7 on first down for the Chiefs.
Yeah, he's just been playing so well. Again, this is the McKinnon that everybody was excited for back when he was in Minnesota. Up and coming, this number one freaking running back that was drafted at the top of fantasy pools, and everybody loved to see. And it's so great to see him play at that level. At that level, even after the horrendous injuries he's had on back-to-back seasons to be to this point. It's really cool.
Second down, they go to Pringle for a first down out of just shy of the 35-yard line.
Yeah, so I didn't get to go on my rant on the defensive approach here, but
sorry about that.
A lot of people, no, it's okay. So the issue with their approach is that Kansas City has one of the only players that I would argue is almost unblockable. It's almost impossible to protect him, and it's Tyreek Hill. He's the fastest person in the league, and he's also very evasive outside of his speed, but with his deception. And so, if
on first down, they go back to McKinnon. By the way, for this time, well played by the Bengals defense, he gains just about 2.
Yeah, and so you can't prevent a deep play from him every game. Okay, it's going to happen. It is inevitable, right? You can do everything you can to prevent it, and try to. And you can minimize it. But the best way to prevent him from getting a deep play is to prevent the ball from being thrown to him, because he is going to beat you in the secondary no matter what. Kelsey also does the same. And Hardman has the ability to do the same. And then they could also get you on the running game if you're playing too safe on the back end.
They go empty here on 2nd and 7. Mahomes, with a little bit of time, has to step up before sidearming it. Incomplete, though, for Tyreek Hill. Went off his hands and fell to the ground. They were looking for Hill there. He was well covered by Mike Hughes, the quarterback. So it'll be 3rd and 7 as we see CJ Uzomah in on crutches and a knee brace. So that's a very bad sign for the Bengals.
That is. We'll talk about that in a second. But just to finish my point here, also, look what happens when they brought pressure. An incompletion occurred. So you can't stop the deep pass, and if you do try to, you're weak on the running game. How do you stop them? You bring pressure. You bring pressure and prevent the pass from being
and the Bengals are doing just that here on 3rd and 7. Mahomes gets it out, but just out of the reach of Kelsey, off his fingertips. Trey Flowers in great coverage there. Cincinnati has their first official stop of the game. 4th and 7 coming up for the Chiefs.
Wow, look at that. The low snap obviously hurt this play as well, but look what happens. They actually bring pressure on a play, back-to-back pressure on plays, and look what happens. 2 incompletions because he didn't have.
Was that a little bit of PI on Trey Flowers?
I didn't get a good enough look. I can't give you a fair enough answer there, Mike. But look at that. The first punt of the game for Kansas City, because Cincinnati remembered that they're supposed to blitz at least every once in a while, let alone never. Yeah. So
and the return will be just across the 15-yard line, and that's where the Bengals will take over on the next possession from their own 16 after the return by Trent Taylor.
Yeah, and you're forced to bring pressure. You're forced to blitz Kansas City because then 1, it will cause more turnovers. 2, it could help stop the run game. And 3, you don't have a choice because they beat you in the secondary regardless. So make the plays short and quick. And then that leads to turnovers, that leads to incompletions. And so bring the blitz and bring it a lot. That's what they have to do here. And it worked finally. And because they remember they are able to do that. It's part of the play sheet.
I would even argue, Ryan, that it would not be a terrible thing to give up a big play to Tyreek Hill for a touchdown, because if you're going to give up touchdowns like you've given up for, like I'm talking from the Cincy side, 3 out of 4 or 3 out of 5 drives now have ended in touchdowns to the Chiefs. If you're going to give up a touchdown, it's better to give up a quick touchdown than a long marching possession touchdown against the Chiefs. So that's where it's you almost want to play, go hell or high water or all or nothing and get home on a blitz and affect the play for an incompletion or even maybe a sack, like you said. Yeah, and that's what might be not the worst thing to get dinked and dunked on.
I forgot to mention sacks. The pressure least incompletions, turnovers, and whoops, I forgot. Sacks, which they haven't got one yet. And so it's just like, yes, all of these things happen when you bring pressure. And you can't bring pressure every play against most teams, because then it just allows for, quick dink and dunk plays to just beat you. But you're going to get beaten. You're getting beaten by that when you don't bring pressure. Start bringing pressure. It's just like, it doesn't make any sense. You're leaving a man back to spy every play, and you're leaving another man back to cover the running back, and they're just sitting there doing nothing. They're just sitting there doing absolutely nothing, and there's no pressure whatsoever. Mahomes just waits for one of his receivers to make a good enough move, and with 3 different threats that could do that on every single play, it happens too often. And when all comes to worst, Mahomes starts running, and the spy is not even enough to stop him from getting positive yardage. So it's just, stop doing that. Cincinnati didn't do that this drive, and all of a sudden they got their first 3-0. Whoop-de-doo. Congratulations. The coaches remembered that it's zone is
they're not playing like big dumb dummies anymore.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're still big dumb dummies, but whether or not they'll continue to be those big dumb dummies,
big dumb
they'll learn from their mistakes. Yes, let's see. That is what we will see over the course of this half. But it'd be really cool to see Cincinnati get back on the field here and score a touchdown, and all of a sudden it's a 1-possession game.
Yeah, Cincinnati can make this a 4-point game with a touchdown. Maybe even if they want to go for 2, they can make it a 3-point game and draw within a field goal. But let's see what they do here as they start the drive they spotted it pretty generously, actually, right around the 17-yard line after that return. So Burrow will fake the handoff, look deep over the middle, and he has a catch wide open to T. Higgins out across the 50. He's at the 40 into Kansas City territory. Big first play by the Bengals as they get to the 36 of Kansas City.
I'm going to take out my pen here, and I'm going to circle a couple things here. Right here for all of our YouTube listeners. My notes here note that Cincinnati, 7th best offense in the league when it comes to passing. Kansas City, 6th worst passing defense. Why have they not utilized that completely all game? Who knows? But let's see if they continue to stop running the damn ball and throw it. They are going to break down.
And they run the ball this time, though. Mixon doesn't gain much. So like you said, maybe they should have thrown it instead of run it, perhaps. But that gains 2, 2nd and 9, or gains 1, 2nd and 9 coming up.
It's just a 2-possession game, so I can't say you can never run the ball. Obviously, you can still. But they just need to prioritize passing on almost every down. Almost every single down. It has to be pass. I know you lost one of your playmakers in Uzama. Sample is good enough to replace him. But you still have your 3 wideouts that have been stellar for you all year. All 3 have had amazing seasons. Jamar Chase having one of the most unbelievable, if not the most unbelievable rookie wide receiver campaign in football history. Right, just following Justin Jefferson's footsteps after.
By the way, we're going to see the Bengals should have taken a timeout or definitely got penalized for delay of game there. They did as the play clock expired. So they'll move the ball back 5 yards.
12th man, baby. That's the 12th man at work. Again, that's where the home field advantage makes the biggest difference. You get too loud, your center can't hear the snap, the calls for the snap, or you can't hear you can't even hear the play calls over the headset because it's just too loud outside, or the headset doesn't work, and you have to try to call in a play call, and you can't hear them. So many different things could happen, and I think it just happened right there, Mike, costing them 5 yards.
So
it's
2nd and 14 now for the Bengals. Down, though, right? Yeah, and also they're possibly not in field goal range right now, so they'd have to get back into field goal range as Burrow throws it over the middle, incomplete, intended for Sample. So 3rd and long coming up here for the Bengals, who are, again, at the very least, they should look to get back into field goal range because they're not in it right now.
That was a dangerous pass, Mike. There was still no pressure on him, too. He had time to let this develop. That was a dangerous. He did thread the needle. Sample should have caught it, but he did have an arm on him, so like it's understandable. But like that is such a dangerous pass to make. You are leaving your wide receiver helpless on that play. You're just leaving Stu Sample to get destroyed and hope that he holds onto the ball. I don't like that call whatsoever. I don't like that play whatsoever by Joe Burrow. And now he's got 3rd and long.
3rd and 14 coming up. 5 to go on the play clock. Burrow just gets the snap off this time. Burrow deep down the right side. It is incomplete, intended for T. Higgins. Perhaps a bit of contact there. No flag. So the Bengals will likely have to punt. And what do you think of going for the deep ball on 3rd and long when you need to get into field goal range?
I'm okay with it, actually, Mike. I am okay with it. Just the issue, the execution was terrible.
And also, there was no coverage over the middle and no route to run over the middle.
I know. That's what I was about to say. That's where my execution's problem. I don't mind you having one man going for the deep ball. They had 2 men on the deep ball here. Both were covered deep. They had a 3rd man that went to the line. He was covered. And then they had one dump option route, and they were actually playing spy on him too. They had nobody open. And instead of going for a quick slant route to try to make it field goal range, oh man, that was the biggest sell of my life. Look at this flop like he's playing.
Nicole Hardman, by the way, just took a nice flop on a fair catch. He was touched there by the special teamer on Cincinnati. I want to see the replay of how legit this was because he definitely touches him, which is kind of not right, but he did. Nicole Hardman sold the crap out of it, so.
He looks like he's playing in the Canada USA game. I thought I clicked the channel of the wrong sport there for a second. The wrong football game. My goodness. That was one of those silliest flops I've ever seen. He waited until after contact. He took a step. Neurons were processing through the brain there to take a second. And then he's like, oh, I'm going to flop now. Like, that was stupid. That was stupid.
Yeah, not quite deserving of not quite deserving of an Emmy award there.
Yeah, I know. It might have been called if he didn't flop. That's the funny thing. He doesn't flop there. Maybe the ref would have had some sympathy, but once he saw that ridiculous flop, there's no way you're throwing a flag. Or
you can even throw a flag for, if that's hockey, then that would be embellishment. Yeah, that would be a 2-minute penalty for embellishment. So,
well, we got just for all of us Canadians out there, or the Americans that are listening in too. Canada is still up 1-0 in the Canada USA match, and
81st minute.
My golly, my oh me, can Canada somehow make it work without their superstar Alphonso Davies and pull another just jaw-dropping upset? And continue to stay flawless and no losses so far in this campaign for the FIFA World Cup qualifiers. Oh my God, they have a chance for the goal here. Oh, good. That was a clean hit. That was a clean tackle. But yeah,
talking about European football here, Canada, U.S. Well, you could say soccer or you could say football because you have 2 North American teams playing each other. But anyway, we got the Chiefs will get the ball actually in pretty not good field goal territory. So that was we have to lost in all that. We have to appreciate how good of a punt that was by Kevin Hoover to pin the Chiefs down inside their 10-yard line. So look, Patrick Mahomes, like you said, though, doesn't matter where they are on the field, they'll still find a way to move the ball. But Cincinnati had a big stop on their last defensive series, but they could not get any points off of that offensively, which is a huge loss. Given that a delay of game penalty could be costly for Cincinnati.
Yes, sir, it could be, and it might just be exactly that. Yeah, I just forced them to make some plays. You forced them to go to the playbook and call some plays they didn't want to have to call there. You couldn't get on any of them. And let's see if Patrick Mahomes can do some magic here. After their first punt, let's see if the Cincinnati continues to bring the pressure to Patrick Mahomes, especially while he's here near his own end zone here. Let's see what they do. They're showing 4. A 5th man potentially is an option here. Let's see what they do.
So Mahomes from inside his 5-yard line. Again, making some barks at the line of scrimmage, some adjustments. Mahomes will take the gun. They bring 5. Mahomes, with a bit of time, has to dump it off out of the backfield to Edwards-Helaire, makes one-man miss and then squirts ahead for a gain of about 3 or 4. So nice play there by Edwards-Helaire to evade 1 tackle and get a positive gain out of it.
Yeah, that's it was just straight up a good play by him. He was able to evade that tackle that would have left it for no yard gain. But good job. They actually pulled a corner blitz there. They had the corner come from right to left and actually blitz on the left-hand side. He wasn't able to get to the quarterback, but he did make it so there was nowhere for him to run and and they played it well in the secondary as well to prevent any big plays here. Got a 2nd and 7. Good job from Cincinnati on that first one. Let's see if they continue to bring pressure.
Yeah, 2nd and 7. Mahomes with Hardman in motion. Hardman gets the jet sweep, and he will get a first down out across the 20-yard line.
Yeah, that was just a great play by Cincinnati altogether. They're asking for a flag here. It looks like he tripped over the guy's leg. I don't think that's a fair flag to throw. I
think we get about 3 tripping calls a year.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Let's see. Let's see if there's a little extracurricular.
Yeah, never really. Yeah.
No, that's actually.
Nicole Hardman is trying so hard for a job in Hollywood, but
no.
He's quite deserving of
that
it.
time it actually was a penalty, but they didn't call it because he embellished the other one so bad. That one was a penalty. But nonetheless, whatever the case is, we
so first and 10 here. Edwards-Helaire gets the delayed handoff for a gain of 5, pushing the ball forward. Nice little run by Edwards-Helaire over the right side.
Yeah, just Kansas City makes things happen in the run game by just having too deadly of a passing game, and that's what's been happening all day. Is that Cincinnati's been trying to focus on stopping the bleeding in the secondary. That number 5 rushing defense just has not been able to do its work here. And don't get me wrong, they haven't allowed too many like breakout gigantic runs, but they're consistently allowing 4-run yards, like 4-yard rushes. And they're not going to win this game if they keep that allow that to happen, especially going into the fourth quarter.
So Mahomes on 2nd down, time running out a little bit. He has to scramble right. Mahomes will throw it, and he is out of bounds because with Mahomes, you never know if he scrambles to the very last second, you never know if he's going to actually find someone. But there, he has to throw it out of bounds.
Couldn't agree with you more, Mike. They brought pressure here. One of the defenders actually slipped and lost his legging before he got to Mahomes and couldn't get a finger on him, unfortunately, there for Cincinnati. But hey, they brought pressure, and what happened? Another incompletion. I love to see it. It's almost like they could have done this the whole game, and we would have had a football game from the start. But here we are. At least they learned their lesson so far, and the big 3rd down here for Cincinnati to try to get that ball back. Try to get this within
3rd and 6. Play clock running down to 3. They get the ball off. Mahomes with time throws it over the middle, incomplete. That was Hardman, or no, that was Byron Pringle, could not bring that in. Ball falls harmlessly to the ground. 4th down and a likely a punt coming up here for the Chiefs.
Yeah, this was actually a great job on the left tackle, not letting Henderson get the outside here. But this was just a great, it was just a poor throw by Mahomes. You don't usually see that, but that was actually just all on Mahomes making that ball not catchable there.
It did hit Pringle in the hand, though.
Yeah, but that was like diving out with one hand. He'd have to make an Odell Beckham catch. That's like that should I know I make the argument that all balls that hit a hand should be caught. But
that was, by the way, sorry, that was a very closely muffed fair catch by Harris there, as there was a lot of traffic when he went into catch. I don't know if that was because of I think that looked like Cincinnati's blockers were backing into him, but either way, fair caught around the 40-yard line. So pretty good field position coming up for Cincinnati here.
Yes, it is, Mike. Yes, it is. And this is their chance to get right back in this game that looked like it was over before it was even starting. So this is where Joe Burrow has to find that swagger, be able to drive this ball down the field, get in the end zone, and make this a one-possession game. Put his football team in a chance to make an upset. But will he do it? Well, they won't if they keep running the damn ball. But we'll see. But yeah, I just want to take a moment to thank everybody in the chat. We're at 4,200 likes right now. My goodness, this 11 support keeps it fueling. And
yeah, guys, we're over 4,000. Really appreciate you guys for tuning in. Really appreciate you guys for staying tuned for again, Tolos, for Toloing, turning on, leaving on, and all that. I could see that Ryan Lufshania Twain there again in the chat. Let us know if you think Cincinnati, they're making it close here. They might actually have a chance now that their defense is stepping up, but can their offense drive the ball and get at least some points to make this a one-possession game? I know I would love to see that. I want Kansas City to win, but I also want a good football game here. So let's see if the Bengals can drive on this possession, get some points. Will they be able to do that? Let us know in the chat.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, thank you for staying in so much, guys. Again, we are in our playoff bracket right now. Who are we facing up against tonight, Mike? I don't remember.
Listen to Lou. So listen to us. And listen to Lou if you want, but listen to us too, you know?
Appreciate it. Yeah. Support everybody, guys, but
yeah, exactly.
Support us more. But but no, thank you everybody so much for staying in and listening now. And this game has an exciting fourth quarter awaiting us, and I really hope that Cincinnati makes it a ball game here. But at the same time, I also want to guarantee Kansas City making the Super Bowl. So part of me doesn't want Cincinnati to get too close.
Well, we don't want to have to start talking about porcupines and Cardinals and Bills and Bears and Chiefs and who knows what if there's a blowout. So, we'd rather talk about – we'll talk about anything, but we'd rather talk about football.
Only one of those wasn't a football team. I'm not really sure where the porcupines came in from there, Mike.
I don't know where it came from either. I was thinking, I don't know, Bills, Buffalo. I don't know how I thought of porcupines, to be honest. That just came out. But anyway, all this to say is we'd rather not dig into blowout material here for the second half. So we'd rather have a game to call. Which it could be if Cincinnati perhaps gets a score on this possession here. So they'll have the ball again at their own, right around their own 40-yard line in decent field position to start this drive. As we look at Chase's production today versus last week, Burrow goes handoff to Mixon, who has space over the right side for a nice gain of 5 on first down.
Yeah, so sorry, Mike. I actually wasn't watching the game. There's 5 minutes left in the soccer game. Canada's still holding off 1-0, and this is 5 minutes of extra time. So they are going to the last moments of the game there. Just wanted to quickly give an update over there for all of yes, Canada might do it. Canada might beat the U.S. And stay on top of the bracket with a commanding lead if they can win this game too. But yeah.
So 2nd and 5 here, though, coming up for Cincinnati from right around their own 40-yard line. As Burrow, looking over the middle, throws it quick to his tight end Sample, just short of the first down, but a nice little 3rd and short coming up for the Bengals here.
Good. This is where I could accept a run. This is where the run is understandable. A pitch to the far side, so maybe the left side.
No pitch. I don't want to pitch. I'm sorry.
I know you hate pitches on 3rd down, but I think with Joe Mixon at the helm there, I absolutely could trust him to get that first down. But also, again, just a very quick and safe route. Always something you can depend on, especially when you got guys like Jamar Chase and T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd. And just
two things of note, by the way, at that break. Sorry, Ron. We saw Mecole Hardman and Tyreek Hill going at it on the sideline. We also saw a guy with a Mahomes jersey and a Cowboys hat. As Burrow will sneak this across for the first down. He has it to move the chains. But yeah, just two really interesting things about that little break there.
Yeah. I don't know. It looked like they were more getting each other pumped up. Oh. No, you're right. They are angry on it. Yeah, no, they are angry at each other. He's got a jet earring.
Interesting decision there. Yeah. Well, it's one thing if you play for the New York Jets, but also I guess that's about being the high flying offense that they are. So anyway, it looked like they got separated and went their own ways as Mixon carries to the left side on first down. I don't mind pitches, but that's why I don't like pitches because it goes for no gain as the Chiefs rally to stop it.
Oh yeah, Mixon waited a little too long for that.
There's a flag coming in though. There's a late flag.
Oh, this is
this moving back 15?
Oh man, I couldn't see who it was on, but that's they're both reacting. Both teams are reacting like it's.
We welcome in Prince, by the way. Oh, there was a big sell job out there by looked like the DB. Or the safety.
No, I think that should have been called, Mike.
It looked like Ladarius Sneed kind of sold that a little too much there.
Either way, no, that was a completely unnecessary push. He just shoved him in the ground and then walked away. That was a stupid play.
So flag came out, but no penalty was announced, which is weird.
Yeah, that was strange. That was a bad call. They should have called the penalty on that. That should have been 15 yards.
Either way, second down, Burrow now with a bit of time. He has to roll left, time running out. Wow. He escapes pressure, escapes the sack, steps up, throws, and he has a catch to Jamar Chase for a first down and more. Out across the 30-yard line into Kansas City territory.
What a play! My grandmother's getting it. She hates football, and she was screaming on that play. What a job by Joe Burrow! Look at it. He was sacked once, and then twice, and then he got out of it. Chris Jones did everything he could to get Joe Burrow on the ground there. Finds a way to escape, and with that much time, superstar playmakers like Jamar Chase are going to make something happen. Look at that. Just went into full-on scramble mode, looked up, saw his guy was wide open, first down and more, and Joe Burrow is smiling for the first time this game. What a play,
First time
Mike.
we've really seen a dynamic connection between Burrow to Jamar Chase there. And that was all Joe Burrow escaping pressure out of the backfield like he did so well there. First down for the Bengals at the 32. Mixon gets the carry, but gets little close to nothing there as he gets stuffed at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, they keep running it, and especially on first down, it's just really predictable. If they're going to start running it, they got to try to do it on second down every once in a while here because they just keep predictably running it on first down, and it's just so easy to play against. You just know that they're going to run it on first down, and it's just no creativity in the defense here, like whatsoever, or offense here whatsoever with that, and it's costing them. It's costing them drastically.
So we'll see 2nd and 10 here with 10 to go on the play clock.
That's
ball at the 32-yard line.
That's an easy.
Burrow gets it out quick to Chase. Yes. Like you're saying, it isn't complete, and the flag comes in. I think you're a second ahead of me there. The flag does come in for PI.
To take a peek at the soccer, and I forgot to reset it again there for you.
That's all good on call. Yeah, Fenton got interfered with Jamar Chase there, so that will be a spot foul and an automatic first down for the Bengals.
He was there an hour early, and it looks like Canada's got 10 seconds on the clock. They have one more breakaway to maybe score an extra goal before, and they do.
Wow, 2-0 for Canada.
Canada wins the game 2-0. That's the ball game. The game is over, and they score within the last seconds of the game. Unbelievable. Rejoice, Canada. It looks like you are heading to the FIFA World Cup for the first time in, I believe, decades.
So 1980s. Either way, there's 10 seconds. In this game, there's 10 seconds to go here. Burrow dumps it off a nice little loop to Mixon, who catches it first down and more inside the 10, tackled just shy of the 5. So the Bengals knocking at the door for just the second time this game in the red zone with a chance to get a touchdown on first and goal.
Unbelievable. What a great play by Joe Mixon. He catches this with one hand in stride, scoops it up, makes it look easy here too. Again, he's a great pass catcher. He's a very underrated pass catcher in the league. Look how easy he made that very difficult catch look. And in stride, great placement by Burrow to be able to do that. And now they're knocking on the door, like you said.
A little balloon ball there by Burrow to set them up, or to set up Mixon as they go on first and goal. Off play action. Burrow looking end zone, but he gets sacked at the 15-yard line. There is Melvin Ingram. We do have a flag down, though.
That flag's on the offense. That was holding all the way. He sacked him through a hold, Mike. Oh, my goodness. What a play. That was unbelievable. He just powered through Prince here. Watch him. Just completely powered through. He grabs him right around the neck here, and he's still able to get that the sack through it. That's a huge sack, but Cincinnati's still well within field goal range. They're just going to be smart with the ball here, take a few shots, maybe make it third and manageable, take a shot in the end zone, kick the field goal, make it a one-possession game.
Burrow got sacked 9 times last week. Remarkably, that's only the first sack that Kansas City has had on Burrow this afternoon so far, but second and goal at the 15-yard line. Play clock winding down around 5. Burrow's empty in the gun, gets the ball off, goes quick to the right side, but falls incomplete as Melvin Ingram tips it down to the ground. So third and goal coming up from the 15-yard line for the Bengals.
Back-to-back great plays by Melvin Ingram. That entire defensive line, too. He had to throw this ball earlier than he wanted to. He would have loved to pump fake first and then throw, but he had pressure coming in on the left side from Jones, and he had no chance but to just throw that ball away. Easy block from Ingram, and now we got third and goal. Again, they go for the end zone here. Don't make it. Kick the field goal. Make it a one-possession game. Simple as that. They might even just take a simple draw play here or something, Mike, or where they just take the easy, make it an easier field goal, and don't try to risk a turnover.
So third and goal. Burrow to the left side. Quick screen to Pirine. Not much there. He's going to try to make some space, and he gets tackled after about a gain of 3 by Fenton and company. So a likely field goal coming up here for the Bengals.
It wasn't even that wasn't even a screen, Mike. That was just straight up a dump off pass. Then there was just nothing there. But that was the right call by Burrow. Just take a very quick, simple, and like a high percentage catch pass. Try to get a couple of extra yards to make it a field goal to make it a one-possession game. It's the right play in my books. Yeah, you're hoping for a lot to happen to get in the end zone there, either a penalty or a broken coverage of some sort or just some miracle play. So smart decision by Burrow there.
So Evan McPherson for the 31-yard attempt from the 12-yard line. The kick is up, and it is good. Splitting the uprights. I was going to say that McPherson has been perfect so far this postseason, but I did not want to jinx him. But he nails it. Stays perfect this postseason. There is a flag down, though. What's the flag?
It might have been an offside, Mike, but either way, it's not going to matter here.
What doesn't matter?
Hi, Bubba.
You guys can hear that.
Hey, Bubba's not wrong. Every yard counts. So I mean, I guess it doesn't matter. We've hit 5,000 likes, though. By the way, guys, thank you so much for everyone on Colorcast on YouTube that has tuned in. For 5,000 likes, and just has been, again, like the last several weekends, another remarkable cast here of the AFC Championship game, and we're going to have possibly an exciting finish here in the fourth quarter as it is now a one-possession game, so stay tuned as we will experience this, what will hopefully be a very exciting football game, or end of the football game altogether here.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what happens with this game because it's a one-possession game again. Kansas City is notably covering the line at 7 points here for all of those gamblers out there. But nonetheless, we are having a great time on this cast with all of you guys. Please stay tuned and listen. We're in a tight race with Lou here. We keep on swapping who's the lead. And we really appreciate you all from staying here, listening in, and showing your support. So please keep it up. We really appreciate everybody. Yeah, like Mike, fourth quarter. What do you have? What do you expect to happen now?
I expect the Chiefs to get more points because I think that they're going to figure out what Cincinnati's doing to them these last two possessions that have resulted in punts. So I think they're going to get more points. I think you're going to start to see Joe Burrow and the Bengals abandon the running game, kind of like you wanted to earlier in the game, and that will hurt them in the form of getting sacked more times by Melvin Ingram and Chris Jones and Frank Clark. So I think that Cincinnati, that Kansas City, I should say, is going to take control of this game in the fourth quarter. And we might not see the exciting finish that we will have hoped for, but we'll still see some exciting plays by Mahomes and the Chiefs as they will likely put this one away. That's what I think will happen.
Yeah, these are all certainly possible. And let's.
I was just watching with our friend Edan yesterday. I was watching like a long recap of the entire Marvel series, and one of those scenes that stuck out to me was Doctor Strange looking at all possible scenarios in Infinity War and Captain America, or in the Avengers Infinity War, and Doctor Strange is looking at all possible scenarios where the Avengers defeat Thanos and all that. Well, according to ESPN right now in this game, the win percentage, like we've been talking about so often, is at 84.8% for the Kansas City Chiefs, which means the Bengals have a 15.2% chance of coming back and winning this game.
Yeah, and honestly, it's a little lower than I thought it would be for the comeback. I thought it'd be closer to at least like a 25% or so. But nonetheless, Kansas City is getting the ball back here. If they can stop them, I'm sure it's going to be a lot closer. There's still so much time on the clock. But it is, again, one possession with a 2-point conversion play. So that is like the most notable part here, where it's not just it's not just the touchdown. They have to have a lot.
It could have been less that they kicked a field goal before instead of going for the deep ball, which I think we are in disagreement over right now, Ryan. As McKinnon takes a nice run up the left side for a gain of about 8 on first down for the Chiefs. But yeah, like Ryan, honestly, I think they should have dumped it off and gone for a field goal on that last possession or the previous possession by the Bengals where they punted because they threw an incomplete ball on 3rd and long down the right side.
Yeah.
Also,
again, I didn't mind it, but they were in tough field goal position in the first place. So I understood why they went for it. Especially for Kansas City, because you need those points.
So Chiefs now on 2nd and 3. Mahomes chucks it a couple of times before getting intercepted. It's intercepted by the defensive lineman, bringing that down. Big number 92, B.J. Hill, clawed that one down and picked it off. And the Bengals will be set up in Kansas City territory with a chance to possibly tie this.
What? What just happened? I don't believe what I'm witnessing, Mike. I'm a little behind on my stream here, but oh my goodness. Mahomes just threw it right into his hands. I don't even have an explanation. I'm not sure what happened.
He saw he was right there. I guess he thought he could get a little more height on it than that. But the reaction time was so good by this defensive lineman, and all of a sudden, Cincinnati has the ball back and they can tie the game? What? I'm sure those odds just flipped huge. Now, obviously, Cincinnati doesn't have a higher chance, but I'm sure those odds just changed drastically on that percentage odds right here. Like, what?
I'm gonna go back to ESPN and look at the. I'm gonna look at the game cast on the next play here as Burrow will hand it off to Mixon, who escapes one block, but he gets a plows forward for a nice gain of 5 after making a nice cutback move to the inside. And just in case you're wondering, so the chances of winning for the Bengals right now is up to 27%. So it just jumped by about 10% on that one play.
Yeah, and that's rightfully should be, especially given the field position right now, because like they're already in field goal. They're already in field goal range. Now again, wow, that's the first interception he's ever thrown in a championship game. It was a bad one too, Mike. That's a no excuses one. There's nothing. I don't have an answer for what Mahomes was thinking on that one. That was just a complete and utter inexplicable mistake.
So 2nd and 5, Burrow has Chase inside the 10, inside the 5. So 1st and goal coming up for the Bengals here.
Man, this is an exciting ball game. All of a sudden, man, we are for treat in this 4th quarter. What has just suddenly happened? We blinked, and Cincinnati is all of a sudden putting up massive points on the board. Wow. Can they finish this drive off, though? This very short drive off. And if they hand it off on 1st down here, I hope they go for play action here, Mike, because they should not be handing it off right away. And they do anyway.
So, yeah, 1st and goal, and they go to Mixon, who gets some. I like that play call, though. He got stuffed just shy of the goal line. That still gained about 3, so now you're about 2 yards. You're 2 yards away from the end zone now as opposed to 5.
I mean, run it both times here then, I guess, because catch them off guard. They've been running it 1st down. Grandmother's cheering for the offensive lineman right now. Yeah, I mean, I would run the ball again if I was Cincinnati at this point.
Will they run or will they pass? Burrow is under center on 2nd and goal from the 2.
Terrible.
And they will go off play action. Burrow to the end zone, but there was a miscommunication, it looked like, as that falls incomplete. Jamar Chase was completely tied up with Fenton and could not come back for that ball.
Mike, that wasn't a miscommunication. That was just, there was no play to be thrown there. Like, he was just blocked off completely by Fenton. They had no chance of that play. The fact that they called that on 2nd down, it's goodness gracious me, man. I just don't understand. Why are you running it on 1st down, then not running it again on 2nd down from 2nd and 3 or 2nd and 2.5? Like, I don't get it, man. I don't get it. Run it again. Pull the drop play. Nope, they're gonna throw it.
So 3rd and goal. Looked like Frank Clark was calling a timeout to the end zone. It is caught for a touchdown. Jamar Chase with the Bengals' 1st touchdown from the red zone. We got a ball game right here, folks. It is now 21-19 with the potential of being tied up with the 2-point conversion.
They went for the same play. I don't like this play call at all. It worked in this case. The defender made a bad job here. He just missed the football with his hands. He was turned around. He didn't know where it was. Like, I don't blame Fenton, but wow,
yes,
it worked.
I say like that, man. Yes.
I'm sure you all can hear this, and she is excited for whatever reason. She's cheering for Cincinnati. I don't know why. But
so the Bengals will go for 2 from the 2, obviously.
Right, because Buffalo lost to Kansas City, and she's upset about that. That's right.
Fair enough. But now Burrow looking to the left, and he has his man caught for the 2-point conversion. We have a tied game. That is Harris, the punt returner, usually bringing it in for the 2-point conversion. Trent Taylor ties it up at 21. We got a ball game, folks, and we have 14 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter.
I can't.
Come on. Do something else, guys.
I can't believe what I'm witnessing. And you're getting some quality content here from the stream here.
The Bengals, they're playing with house money right now. Like, they're literally playing with house money, right? There's just something magical about this team. It looks like they're basically the Habs of last year's Stanley Cup final, or Stanley Cup playoff.
They really are. And man, if they can pull this comeback.
How is it that 3 points now that Andy Reid left? Oh, so that's a great point there. Those 3 points that Andy Reid left on the field before Kansas City would have had the lead had they kicked the field goal there. But you could also argue that had they got the touchdown, they'd be up by 7.
It's true.
So it goes
All
both
is-
ways.
all is true.
Which I still don't mind, because I think that Kansas City still has it's tied, but Kansas City is still in control of this game, because if they don't get a touchdown here, then they're in trouble. But if they get a touchdown here, then they're able to maintain control of this football game. I don't know if you know Canada won 2-0. Go Canada! Yes, happy place. We were catching you guys up with that before, as Canada won 2-0 over the US in soccer. So great run for Canada, as they are likely gonna make it to the World Cup for the first time since the 80s, basically, and they're doing that without Alphonso Davies. So
I hate to leave you hanging like this. I'm going to need to step away for a few minutes here. So I just got a little emergency that came up. Pull someone up.
hope everything's okay there, Ryan.
Yes,
Yes, if someone wants to. Okay, if anyone wants the hot seat, then just let us know. Chime in as Silver Lining Ryan Silver will have to take a break. But right now, we look at the way the second half possessions have gone for the Chiefs. They have punted twice and then got intercepted after 2 plays. Great play by BJ Hill, the defensive lineman on the Bengals. And what will the Chiefs do now to start the 10 seconds left to go in this third quarter, which will take us into the fourth. They go Hardman in motion over the right side. Mahomes off of play action. Mahomes has to dump it off for a screen, but is dropped by McKinnon. They looked like they had the screen set up, but McKinnon could not haul that in. So it is second down for Mahomes and the Chiefs, who are now maybe starting to feel a little bit nervous. There's 10 seconds to go here now in the second quarter. As the the Chiefs right now, they are looking for something on offense when they were scoring on every single possession to start the first half, but now have not been able to score since that second to last possession of the first half. McKinnon now in motion. Mahomes looking left, has the completion over the middle to Kelsey, tackled just shy of the chains by Eli Apple, and that will wind us down to the end of the third quarter. Third and short coming up for the Chiefs. When we come back from the break of the third quarter, it is 21-21, all tied up here. We saw some sad faces by Burrow and some happy faces by Mahomes early, but now it's flipped. We see Mahomes looking a little nervous out there as Joe Burrow giving that little sweet and cool Joe Burrow look. But either way, we're going to have a very exciting finish here in this fourth quarter. And I want to take another moment to really thank our wonderful audience once again for tuning in, for staying tuned in, for the likes and for the chats and for all of the engagements right here, right now. Thank you guys for tuning in and for staying tuned in. If anyone wants a hot seat again right now is the chance. Let's see if maybe Maverick wants to rejoin. I'll invite you on for about another minute or two here while Ryan comes back on. Hope everything's okay with Ryan, of course. And if anyone else wants a hot seat, then just let us know in the chat and we will get you in line. How's it going there, Maverick? Welcome back. Yeah, like you were honestly like this is where again you were possibly right in terms of the Chiefs having left some points on the board there by not kicking the field goal, but they also could have had a touchdown, which would have given them a 7-point lead right now or a 4-point lead. But either way, I'm going to extend your time in the hot seat as I hope Ryan is okay. But do you think Cincinnati is going to pull this off as they have now, according to ESPN, going to pull this off? They have a 43.4% chance of winning, or 42.4% chance of winning this, as I'll extend your time on the hot seat here. Yeah, here we're just gonna. I'll give you 5 minutes this time here, Maverick. Once you tune back in, but just once again, hoping everything is okay with Ryan right now. Here, I'll invite you on for 5 minutes this time. There you go, sir. Yeah, there, Maverick. Sorry, you got cut off there, but continue. What were you saying? Great game indeed. It looked like the Chiefs were going to pull away with this one. And but then the Bengals all of a sudden with multiple stops in the second half and a big interception, which led to the touchdown there. As right now, the Chiefs, they have a big 3rd and 3 coming up from just outside their own 30-yard line. Mahomes motions McKinnon to the right. Mahomes looking, not much open. He'll have to step up and evade pressure. Mahomes rolling right, still looking for something. Time running out, and he'll get sacked just around the 20-yard line. Play made there by Sam Hubbard and company. Looked like Eli Apple as well. Mahomes just took too much time there that wasn't there, looking for a play downfield, and now the Chiefs will have to punt. Absolutely. So now the Bengals, they made multiple big stops on defense. And again, it looked like, as we welcome Ryan back here, hope everything's okay there, Ryan, multiple big stops by the defense of the Bengals. We thought that would have been impossible with how the first half went, but now the Chiefs or the Bengals will get the ball back on offense. So, Maverick, what's your game plan now for the Bengals? Do you keep doing what you're doing? Do you keep just dicking and dunking? Do you run the ball? Do you go play action? What are you doing here, Maverick, if you're the Bengals? Yeah, it looked like they jumped off sides there, perhaps, as Burrow. Oh, he throws it intercepted. It is intercepted by L'Jarius Sneed at the 45-yard line. That's what I was saying. Was there potential offside there, or was it? No, but also I saw the entire right side of the defensive line move before the snap. Oh yes.
Hit the ground.
Welcome Ryan back on the YouTube stream.
From the back end there, you couldn't see it with that angle that we just saw, but it looked like I think I saw that ball bounce around. That might have not been a clean pick. Cincinnati might have second life here. We're obviously going to see it. All turnovers are reviewed, and so we will see what the final call is there. But it did look
so
like
Maverick. So I think Maverick's ahead of us a little bit on the stream. So if you're seeing the replays right now, Maverick, even if you're not, do you think this is a catch or not a catch?
It did look like there was a bobble when he was hitting to the ground. I obviously need to see a couple more angles to be certain, but there's a chance this did hit the ground. I think that the silver lining might have a point there.
Yeah,
I'm really excited to see.
I definitely saw what could have been it. Now, again, this could have been maybe the defender's knee, and it just looked like it was the ball from the back end. But I only saw it from his back was towards us, but I saw something dark looked like it hit the ground before he and while he was also bobbling the ball, but I would need to see another angle to see if it was in fact the ball or something else. So but it did, and he definitely was bobbling it while he was out of bounds too. But if he caught that first and went to the ground, it's a completion, period, end of story.
We welcome in, by the way, it's Bostwick into the chat. Thank you so much for joining the hot seat again, Maverick, and
really
hopefully we'll hear back from you a little bit later. And really just thank you, and you have 20 seconds. What do you have to say for 20 seconds? Go ahead.
Monumental call right here. If this wasn't an interception, it's you don't count the Chiefs defense out either. You know, they're a good defense too. They can make plays. So
they can.
Might have been a big one just now.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I couldn't agree. Thank you so much again. Everybody give Maverick a follow. Really appreciate you stepping in there.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, but
is everything okay? By the way, Ryan?
Yeah, everything's good. Don't worry about it, buddy. We're good.
Awesome.
Huge call. And my goodness, this could have the impact this has on the game here too. Now again, Kansas City could just get a 3 and not get the ball back. We'll see. But I'm not certain this ball's caught. Let's see what
It
they
looks
say
like
about
they're
it.
not over. I don't know if they're overturning it because Burrow's sitting on the sideline. The Chiefs' offense is out there. So, yeah, it's an interception.
All right.
And Mahomes and the Chiefs will take over at the
Fair enough.
47. They go handoff to
Wow.
McKinnon, or Edwards-Helaire, I should say, and he gets tackled after a gain of 4.
Yeah, and hilariously, I've been talking about how the run game is not important. Now it suddenly is again, and both teams need to start continuing to run the football. So now that it's
Thanks, Ryan.
Now that it's a tie game, I know. Hey, man, the game changes, and I'm willing to accept. Like it's in the game script. When the game script changes, so does your so does your plan. When the game changes, so does your script. Is what I meant to say. Good words, Ryan. Great job.
2nd and 6 for the Chiefs here. Mahomes has to dump it off to Edwards-Helaire, but out of his reach, falling to the ground, missing a sure play or a short pass to Edwards-Helaire. I don't know how much room he would have had in front of him there, but either way, 3rd and 6 coming up for the Chiefs.
Mike, I wish the people on the Colorcast could see my face right now. I'm confused. What's going on with Patrick Mahomes in the second half? He hasn't looked the same.
I see your face on YouTube right now. It is confused indeed.
I'm so puzzled. He came out. He threw 1 incompletion and 3 touchdowns. And now what's going on here? I don't understand what's happening. But this is where you look towards Travis Kelce or Tyreek Hill for picking up the slack that's going on right now.
3rd and 6. Mahomes. Time running out. He gets sacked from behind. Mahomes gets sacked again on back-to-back possessions, ending in sacks by Trey Hendrickson this time. Diesel punt.
Big man on the defense there. That's the leader of this defensive line, Trey Hendrickson. He has been an absolute wrecking force with 14 sacks on the season. He came in clutch last week as well with I think he had 2 as well last week. Look at that. His sleeve is ripped right in his underarms. You can see his little armpits there. But regardless, unbelievable for Cincinnati to be able to get this ball back after a horrible turnover and have yet again another chance to take the lead. Kansas City being stuffed in the second half.
It will fall into the end zone for a touchback. So once again, the Bengals will avoid getting pinned deep inside their own territory after the interception by Joe Burrow, which led to this 3-and-out by Kansas City. And now Joe Burrow and the Bengals will get another chance to potentially take the lead for the first time in this ball game.
Head scratching, Mike. It's just head scratching what's happening here. I mean, Cincinnati figured it out. I've been yelling at them all day. Why are you not bringing pressure? Why are you still running the ball? And they seem to smarten up, although they still are running it on every single first down for whatever reason. They started bringing pressure, and all of a sudden, Patrick Mahomes has had a terrible second half with a pick, many interceptions, and sacks. Again, we talked about this at halftime, and they're doing it. And suddenly this game again is now coming. Oh, right. Eminem's also in the halftime performance. How did I forget that? Right. Oh, my goodness. How did I forget Eminem? Wow. Literally the headliner, arguably. So, you have to call Eminem. Yeah, Eminem's definitely the biggest star of all those guys. So, wow.
Honestly, this is going to be a halftime show out of 2004, which I'm honestly pretty pumped for. I'm usually not pumped for halftime shows, but I'm excited for this one.
Yeah, this one sounds like really cool. I think they're going to do a great job. I can't imagine they'll butcher it. I hope they won't, end up pulling the Slash and freaking not Chili Peppers, freaking Black Eyed Peas half full performance.
Yeah,
you get a bunch of really talented people together, and all of a sudden it all sucks. Number one, Dad, you're 100% correct.
Yes, halftime adjustments, indeed.
Adjustments have been amazing, and I've been hating on Zach Taylor, but man, he seems to have figured it out since then. But again, if they just stop running it on first down every single time, I can't imagine what kind of damage they could do in the offense. I'm going to go on a bold prediction here and say, Mike, they're going to run it on first down again.
So you're what now? 2 for 3, 1 for 2 on your predictions this afternoon so far?
Did I make another prediction after? I don't think I have. I'm 1 for 2.
You were wrong on the run. You were right on the when they passed it to Kelce. I'm talking. This is way back in the first quarter. Yes, you were right on something else. I forget where. Yeah, you were dead on something else where I forget. That one.
All right, let's call it 2 for 3. Chat. What do you guys think? 2 for 3? Or am I 10 for 10?
2 for 3, 1 for 2. Up to you. Yeah.
I know, right? Another freaking run on first down. It's just I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, you're right. You're right on over there. I mean, I'm actually still a little bit behind right now. It's
Yeah.
1st and 10, so I'm about to see the run.
No.
but,
It's my prediction. Unless the comment might have been ahead of time, but it's gonna be another run on first down.
Probably.
And I just-
Well, 3 yards on first down isn't like the worst, awful, terrible thing, and especially now that the game's tied, and my voice made a couple of squeaking octaves there. But anyway, but 2nd and 7
It was
again, not the
impressive.
worst thing. As you see,
Ridiculous.
3 yards on first down is more than the -1 yards that Kansas City has this entire
look at that.
half. So from that
Hey,
standpoint,
look
it's
at
pretty
that.
good.
They had everything set for a pass play, and then they drew the ball on first down. What a twist! What a surprise, everybody! Wow, I am flabbergasted. I can't believe it. No. By the way, I guess that makes me 3 for 4 for some reason. I'd love to see
3
them
for
run it
4.
on
Okay, that's a
second
good
down
batting
and follow it
average.
up, but they don't. They don't run it on second down and follow it up. They just completely do the same game script every single time. I just don't understand.
That snap, Burrow handles it.
down.
Burrow has to scramble right. Burrow running out of time. He has to throw it and almost intercepted. Was that intercepted? They say incomplete. It looked like Nick Bolton caught it just out of bounds along the sideline. So 3rd down coming up for the Bengals as both offenses have run into a bit of quicksand here with the score tied.
What was this pass though? What?
It was intercepted. Oh no, that was incomplete. That was literally passed right to Nick Bolton.
He was looking for Higgins, but he just underthrew it so bad. Like that wasn't even marginally close. And like Higgins was already going down by the time he threw the football. So I don't really understand what Burrow did there. That was just strange. Even if he wasn't falling down, Higgins would have been nowhere near that ball by the time. That was just that's one of the worst.
So 3rd and 7, Chiefs bring the blitz, and Burrow will escape the pressure somehow. He has a guy bearing down on him, escapes it too. Burrow will pick it up himself for the first down. Unbelievable. I can't believe Burrow escaped all those sacks and pressures, but Burrow somehow got it done and picks up the first down.
He pulled a little Mahomes magic out of his something. I don't know what's going on right now. Wow, Chris Jones had him once, and then Chris Jones sticks with it, has him twice, and he gets past both of them, runs it for the first down, Mahomes-esque, and gets a fresh set of downs for his team that looked like it was another 3-and-out that was just completely set to happen. Man,
unbelievable scramble indeed. Like you're saying in the chat there.
Yes, but just flabbergasted. Unbelievable.
So first down, Bengals at the 31. They go run to Mixon, who gets swallowed up at the line of scrimmage.
Was that another run on first
Okafor.
down? Okay,
Yes,
I take it
it
back.
is,
I don't even care
Ryan.
Cincinnati. Even if Cincinnati wins this game, I still don't approve of Zach
The
Taylor.
tie.
This is ridiculous.
It's the tie. Wow, Bengals indeed their Scody. Yeah.
No,
This team is just talk about Mahomes magic. We got Burrow magic. As we welcome in Sidco in here, Soviet son. Thank you for joining us here, Sidco, both on Colorcast and YouTube.
Wow, we just hit 26 viewers, guys. You guys are so supportive. Over 6,000 likes. Thank you so much. Keep it alive in that comment section.
Burrow on first down, though, dumps it off to Higgins, and he just barely gets across the line of scrimmage. Tyler Boyd, I should say. So 3rd and 8 coming up.
Lucky he had a completion in the first place, Mike. This play was dead from the start. There was nothing to be had here. He was about to get blasted, and he gets the completion in for a no gain instead, which is just, again, way better than what it could have been. And so here's a big 3rd down. We got 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8 coming up, and Kansas City wants to get this ball back, and let's see if Burrow could pull some rabbit out of his hat again.
He pulled a rabbit out of his hat on the previous series of downs. Let's see what he has up his sleeve on this one. 3rd and 8 from the 34. Chiefs bring a bit of pressure. Burrow escapes, steps up. He'll take it himself again. He has the first down again. And before going down right around the 45, did he fumble it, though? I don't think so.
But hold on. That might
either way, it's a first down for the Bengals.
Hold on, Mike. Hold on a second here, Mike. It looked like he was about to go down. And did he get the ball in the? No, okay, it's not. I thought it was a face mask too. I'm just wrong on both of those calls here. I think it was. Let's see what happened here. Was this a clean tackle? No, it was a face mask. I was right.
Joe Mahomes is user saying in the chat there. Is it Joe Mahomes or are we watching Joe Burrow? Heard Patrick Mahomes. What are we watching right here?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's a good joke. It's exactly what's happening here. Also, that was another clearly blown call by the officials. I don't know what happened. I don't know what's going on.
Either way, first down for Cincy. Burrow dumps it off at this They did blow the play dead here. Ryan, they blew the play dead. Let's see what they're calling here by Bill Vinovich. It is a timeout being charged, I think, by Cincinnati. I don't know why they took a timeout there. I don't know who called that timeout and why, but either way, that'll stop the clock with around 8:42 to go here in the fourth quarter in a tied game. But Cincinnati is finally looking to be pulling ahead here, at least in terms of moving the football. Let's see if it ends in points and their first lead of the ball game.
Yeah, Mike. Oh man, I'm losing my breath here. I can't believe that this game is all of a sudden 21-21. Like, who would have said that going into the last 8 minutes of the game that Kansas City would not have put up any more points after halftime, and Cincinnati would put up 11 points exactly? Like, just what?
And that Kansas City would score 0, and that they'd have -1 yards of total offense in the second half. I think that's what's more remarkable.
What? Like, what with a pick too? Something's going on in Mahomes' head right now. He needs to just snap out of it and be the guy that he is. I still think Kansas City has a great chance of winning this football game, but they need to smarten up, and the defense needs to go to work right now.
So someone jumped offside there as they draw to Mixon, but I think Frank Clark was a mile offside. There's something really not right about that play.
I think that was a false start. I think that was a false start, Mike. I think he jumped offside because of a false start.
It is offside. So let me ask you this. So Ryan, and this is important because this happened in the Cowboys game as well a couple weeks ago, and you can allude to this in the chat as well. So if you're a defensive lineman and you see the offensive and you suspect that an offensive lineman moved early, although I know Frank Clark was just timing the snap there, but in my opinion, you don't rush. You point. You point at the lineman because that way you draw the attention to the officials to that lineman of him potentially moving, and what it does is it forces the lineman to then freeze and make an extra effort to not jump offside, which then allows you to then get perhaps a step on him, as now we have 1st and 5.
79 squared.
No, but they go slide to Higgins. Higgins has the first down and more out across the 40 into Kansas City territory, out across the 35-yard line. But seriously though, Ryan, as a defensive lineman there, in my opinion, you have to point and not jump. You point and not jump if you suspect the lineman is offside or false starting.
You got to be careful that while pointing, you're not just because a lot of people like to point and then start jumping, or pointing and then not in their stance anymore. And by the time the ball gets snapped, they're late to the snap. So there's pros and cons, Mike. Regardless, honestly, whatever the case is, we're at this point of the game where they're in field goal range, 7 minutes on the clock, and Cincinnati is a first down in the Kansas City zone, that tie game. Who would have thought this would come to this right now? This is unbelievable.
Burrow heads off to Mixon, and there is a flag. This play looks like it's going to be blown dead before it even happens, as there's another pre-snap penalty here. But yeah, Burrow and the Bengals.
It's probably going to be a false start this time.
This time it's a false start, so this time they'll back it up by 5 yards. It'll be 1st and 15. But either way, Burrow and the Bengals, they're in field goal range with a chance to take their first lead of the ball game. But they're thinking more than just 3. They want 6 or 7, I should say, out of this drive.
Oh, we got a hot mic request. Let's put him on for a minute there.
We do from It's Boswick. Let's hear from It's Boswick onto the hot seat. We'll put you on for a hot minute. It looks like you're a Rams fan. I'll be cheering for the Rams there as well. It's Boswick, but let's hear what you have to say as you join the hot mic. All you, take us away.
What's going on, buddy?
Man, what's going on, guys?
Nothing much. Buddy. How about you?
We're awesome. Go ahead, man. You got a quick minute. It's all you. Your time to shine.
Man, this game, literally, I didn't see the first half of the game because I was in the laundry mat, but when I just came home. I mean, I saw when I was looking at the score, I was like 21-21, and now Joe Burrow has the ball in his hands. I mean, they need to take the time off the clock as much as possible, run the football, don't give the ball back to Mahomes, but I mean, the Bengals right now, I mean, with a leaky offensive line, I don't know how they, are able to overcome this, because it's impossible against. I mean, they made some play, even though they let Patrick Mahomes get away with some, touchdowns, but their defense is really stepping up.
It is.
Man, they're posting their will. I mean, they got a shot here. They just got to take time off the clock.
It's true.
Thank you for jumping on the hot seat. It's Boswick. We'll get you on again at some point later in the game. But yeah, just honestly, it's been a tale of two halves. And also, I think that Burrow is just aware of his offensive line's deficiencies and is just stepping up when he can,
Mike,
and running for first downs when he can as well.
I want to press on something really quickly here. Actually, Boswick, I do believe that time management is important here, but I actually think it's the opposite. They want to get in the end zone as fast as possible. I'll explain why in a second.
So Chase, by the way, has a catch on 2nd and 15 to gain about 7, setting up a 3rd and kind of long here for the Bengals. Go ahead, Ryan.
Yeah, it's Kansas City has 3 timeouts. You're not going to be able to break this clock all the way down to enough where you're pressuring Kansas City with too much time. What you want to do is get in the end zone fast so that Kansas City gets the ball, and if they get a touchdown or score, you have enough time on your side to have to get back and win the game with no time on the clock. So they actually want to get this as quick as possible. I think they're taking way too much time off the clock. I think that's the mistake. Because Kansas City can break
3rd and 8. Burrow, by the way, dumps it off to P. Ryan, who has a ways to go, but gets swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. Play made there by Larjarius Sneed, who had the interception before. I think that's actually Charvarius Ward, but either way, a huge play by Charvarius Ward to force possibly a long field goal here by the Bengals, and an interesting decision as we see McPherson coming out to attempt the long field goal.
Unbelievable tackle by Ward there. He actually put his helmet on the ball there, put a chance for it to get to turnover, but he also lifts the offender up and slaps him to the ground. They had no chance to get a single yard, but he also put his helmet in the spot where he can get the turnover. 10 out of 10 job by Ward there. Didn't even need the assist for the other player to get that tackle.
So Evan McPherson, the kick is up. It is trailing to the left, and it is good just inside the left upright. The Bengals have their first lead of the ball game, now up 24-21, and the pressure is now on Kansas City and Patrick Mahomes to put some points on the board. Will it be in the form of a field goal? Will it be in the form of taking the lead again with a touchdown for the first time since the first half? We'll see.
Yeah. And again, if I'm Patrick City, I almost said Patrick City and Kansas Mahomes. But if I'm Patrick City or Kansas Mahomes, I actually want to get down as fast as I can. I do not want to take any time off this clock because now, because of that, they got the quick stops there. There's only 6 minutes on the clock. You want to get there as quick as you can because you have 3 timeouts. You'll be able to stop the clock enough to have a chance for that 1 minute or 2 minute drill if you get there quick enough. So time management is super tight here, but you're still in the window of if you can get some huge plays and get on the board immediately. That's better than driving it down to only leaving a minute left or so for the opposition to get back and score.
Yeah, it's Boswick. By the way, they scored a touchdown. They should have scored a touchdown. I mean, that would have been ideal, but I think that all things considered, 3rd and long, they had the false start penalty, which set them back. All things considered, they could have very well missed that field goal and given Kansas City really good field position also. So I think that again, all things considered, I think Cincinnati is not thrilled with the outcome of that drive, but they're okay with the outcome of that drive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so they put points on Kansas City and took a lead for the first time in the game. They can't be upset. Obviously, they're wild at the touchdown, and it's scary to leave this opportunity for Patrick Mahomes, but he hasn't been Patrick Mahomes this half. I don't know what's going on this half. It really has been a tale of two halves, Mike. You are right on that degree. So I'm
Me too, Ryan. I really do. I mean, honestly, I thought that this game would I really thought that Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs would have taken over this game and made it honestly look kind of easy and go back to the way they were in the first half. But I am shocked. Look, I've been wrong about a lot of things here on these casts and on this Langer at the Mike YouTube channel. I've been right about some things, but wrong about a lot of things as well. But yeah, I just honestly am so surprised at how the Chiefs have just been in a stalemate this entire half.
Trying to do what this franchise did back in the 80s, and that's winning the championship game. 2-0. It's been since 88, 21 unanswered. To get to the Super Bowl back then, they had to beat Fouts and Kelly. Now trying to take up Mahomes. Doing it with their quarterbacks, Ken Anderson and Boomer Esiason.
24-21 again, 6 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. So it's in that kind of approaching that area like that Buffalo Kansas City game last week, where it's like when you're the Chiefs, you want to score, but you also don't want to give too much time to Joe Burrow and the Bengals. And then if Joe Burrow and the Bengals score, you don't want to give too much time to Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs, and so on and so forth. Yeah, so this is where it matters. They go quick throw to Hardman to the flat, and he picks up about a 5-yard gain to get them started on first down. And yeah, like, look, the Chiefs, they can go with a quick touchdown. They have the personnel to go quick touchdown, like we saw with Tyreek Hill last week. But yeah, just it's an interesting point in the game where you're down 3, field goal ties it, but also gives time possibly to Burrow and the Bengals to win it if they get the ball back. Yeah, now Kelsey, by the way, gets a good catch for looks like a first down on 2nd and 5, so that'll likely move the chains. Yeah, they'll move the chains. So Mahomes throws it quick underneath to Kelsey, who kind of escapes the tackle there, but he plows. Yeah, he can't get more than about 3 yards after that catch. So a gain of 7 there on first down. Nice play made by Jermaine Pratt to bring him down. Jerick McKinnon does get the handoff, so there's one for you, Ryan, and he gets tackled short of the line to gain, though, so 3rd and short coming up for the Bengals. And at a certain point, if you're Cincinnati, you almost want to start taking timeouts, perhaps, maybe. But right now, it's first, 3rd and short for Mahomes and the Chiefs at their own 39. Mahomes throws over the middle. Kelsey has a catch inside the 40 of Cincinnati, wide open. There's the Mahomes to Kelsey connection. Kansas City is cooking in Cincinnati territory. Jet sweep to Hardman over the right side. Hardman has a nice gain on first down, out of bounds, right around the line to gain, and that will stop the clock with 18 seconds to go before the 2-minute warning. So Mahomes is in the shotgun, though, with it looks like McKinnon in the backfield by his side. Delayed blitz there by the Bengals. McKinnon runs it over the left side for a first down and more, out across the 20, 25 before being tackled at the 25-yard line. He did stay in bounds, so the clock will continue to run. Again, we're at 2:35 to go here in the 4th quarter. They did. Yeah, they ran it all the way down to the 2-minute warning. The Chiefs are down 24-21. Cincinnati remarkably leads here in the second half. It was a blowout at first, but it became a very exciting game now, as we're going to have possibly another game for the 5th time in a row come down to the last play of the game. Perhaps we'll see, as the Bengals are looking to stop the Chiefs and maybe get the ball back to either tie it. If the Chiefs score a touchdown, well, actually, never mind. If the Chiefs score a touchdown, they'll have to win it. Either way, if the Bengals get the ball back, we're looking at a very exciting finish here, Ryan. Either way, 2 minutes to go. The Chiefs driving now, down 3. I love football, man. We have a prediction being dropped here, by the way. Mahomes drops back, nothing open, scramble for a touchdown. So in the event, Ryan, I want to ask you this before we get back from break here. If in that event of Mahomes drops back, nothing open, scramble for a TD scenario, do you think he slides before the goal line? Or do you think he should slide before the goal line? Because I remember also what stands out to me when talking about this is, remember there was the Falcons-Lions game last year in 2020 where Todd Gurley accidentally went to the end zone when he should have taken a knee because they were down by like 2 or something. We'll get to that in a little bit. And they lost because the Lions drove back down the field and kicked the game-winning field goal. But either way, right now, 24-21, Mahomes has the ball with the Chiefs offense driving at the 15. Mahomes, time runs out. He'll have to scramble left, and he'll get out of bounds to stop the clock. Or he's just, how big is the missed field goal? You could also argue as well. But again, if that was a touchdown, the Chiefs would be ahead right now. McKinnon motions right. Mahomes on second down. Looking, nothing open. Time running out. Mahomes running in circles right now, doing what he does. Still looking for time. You talk about burning time. That's one way to do it, Ryan. Mahomes will scramble all the way to the left side, and he will get back to the line of scrimmage, maybe pick up a couple of yards. But either way, that will set up a third down for the Chiefs. Mahomes, I want to know the yardage on what Mahomes ran in the backfield there, because he just scrambled all over the place before. Unbelievable. And that was also a great tackle there made by Trey Hendrickson from behind, because if he doesn't make that tackle, then it's Mahomes to the end zone. And 3rd and 2, Mahomes pitches it to Kelsey. Kelsey picks up the first down, getting inside, or it becomes close to a first down. I think he got the first down there, but either way, they accomplished what you said they should accomplish, of getting the first down inside the 5 to set up 1st and goal now, and a chance to win and leave no time on the clock for the Bengals. No, it's a timeout. They call it a timeout.
To the AFC champion. It's also the State Farm post-game show. Now we're starting to look like the end of the first half when Kansas City was down close. But that did not work out for them. To me, what's happening, I mean, these playoff games, how close these games are all, getting at the end. This is a testament to the NFL, the league, and the quarterbacks in this league, and the talent level of these young players. There's so much depth at that position that it's hard to kind of separate. These guys are so good to get their team back in it. I think you're in for an incredible.
So if you're Cincinnati right here, well, seriously, as either way right now, first and goal from inside the 5, Mahomes and the Chiefs, they motion Hardman to the left. Mahomes still calling for the snap, gets it, handoff to McKinnon. He finds a seam up the middle before it gets swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. So second and goal from the, let's call it the 4.5, maybe the 4-yard line, where the Chiefs will be set up with another chance perhaps. But now that the Bengals call another timeout again, 1:26 to go here, second and goal for the Chiefs. Ryan, real quick. Why not, Ryan? Why not run the football?
And have your running back just go down and he gets in accidentally, okay. But it's very risky. What about the strategy from Cincinnati's standpoint? They could say score. Now, if you're trying to stop him, Cincinnati's 100% trying to stop him. It's just a rare case.
So second and goal for the Chiefs inside the 5-yard line. They go fake to McKinnon. Mahomes looking end zone. Nothing there. Mahomes, time running out. He has to scramble. Time's running out, and he gets sacked at the 9-yard line. He gets sacked by Sam Hubbard. Third and goal coming up from, again, the 9-yard line. So the Chiefs are in trouble in terms of looking for the touchdown. Field goal still an option, but at least the clock ticks. So the Chiefs, they will take a timeout. They do have to deal with the lost yardage, though. That's why, look, Ryan, honestly, I would have run the football. I just would have run the football. It's not a guarantee that you get into the end zone by running the ball, but it's not a guarantee that you get into the end zone by throwing the ball. And it's certainly better than taking a 5-yard sack. Yeah, the time continues to tick, but you take a 4-yard loss of yard, a 4-yard loss on the play. Ryan, I disagree. No, Ryan, I would have run on the previous down. So that way you're third and goal. You could pick up maybe 2 or 3 yards, like worst case, unless someone completely whiffs on a block, you lose 1 or 2, but you don't lose 4. And you have another chance on third and goal to get into the end zone. But I'd rather get stuffed at the line of scrimmage than move back 4 yards. But either way, the Chiefs have third. They have third and goal from the 9-yard line. Will they pass for the end zone, or will they settle for a field goal and let the clock expire? They're going to go for the end zone. It looks like Mahomes with time. Mahomes looking. Mahomes dancing. Mahomes still looking, still dancing. Time running out. He has pressure in his face. Mahomes going all the way back. He fumbles the football. He fumbles the ball at the 26-yard line, but his lineman looks like Joe Thuney is there to recover it. So the Chiefs will lose a whole lot of yards there, but at least they have the chance to kick a game-tying field goal and a chance to wind the clock down. Big play indeed there. It's Bothwick.
Taking him back to the 26. I mean, a 44-yard attempt. Of course, he made the 49-yarder last week at the end of regulation to send it to overtime. Can he do it? 2 straight weeks?
They had a spy on Mahomes. That's what Romo's saying right now. They had a spy on Mahomes who then at the last second came in to pressure him and just forced the fumble. Uh, 44-yard attempt here for Harrison Butker to keep the Chiefs season alive and force overtime. The kick is up and it is good for the second week in a row. We have overtime here in Kansas City. I would argue that this is more of a disadvantage for Cincinnati if Kansas City wins the toss. I would argue it's more of a disadvantage than it was last week for Buffalo, because Buffalo had a chance to stop the Chiefs with 13 seconds to go, whereas here the Bengals, they just got marched on down the field and actually made great defensive plays to prevent them from getting scored, to prevent the touchdown and to prevent losing. So I would say that's a bigger disadvantage for Cincinnati this week than it was for Buffalo last week. Let us know in the comment section what you think. By the way, in this madness, we're over 8,000 likes, close to 9,000, guys. Really appreciate the support, and we're going to experience another exciting finish here in this wonderful AFC Championship game. Will it be Joe Burrow and the Bengals, or will it be Kansas City, Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs again going to the Super Bowl? We'll see. Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs will get the first shot, though. By the way, if user Ivanka can't take this, who's a big Patrick Mahomes fan, she can't take it. And it was a fumble there before Bostwick. Yes, big play indeed. Chiefs getting the ball again for the second week in a row. We'll see. We'll see if the Bengals can learn from the Bills last week and maybe play better defense. It's a great way to put it. And here's where, for the NFL scheduling sake, you have to schedule the second game on championship weekend or division round weekend a little later than half an hour. Yeah, give us, we need to know, they need to start at 7 instead of 6:30. No more fingernails. They had barely grown back since last week, says the husband of a big Patrick Mahomes and Kansas City fan. Also Patrick Mahomes fan. But look, it's not even for broadcasters, but just for viewers. If you're a viewer watching the first game and it ends and it's going to end however this game's going to end, you're going to want a chance to be what the hell did I just watch? What the hell did I just happen, before getting into a whole new playoff game that could end the same way. I'm just tweeting right now. I'm just tweeting a couple of things. Like, forget about changing overtime rules. Make the second game on championship weekend later. Does anyone want to see Mahomes? Does anyone see where Mahomes is keeping that horseshoe? Well, let's see if that horseshoe. Let's see if he still has that horseshoe right now. So let's see what they do on 2nd and 10 from their own 25-yard line. Mahomes motions Kelsey inside, then back outside to the left. Bengals bring 4, and it is almost intercepted by Mike Hilton on the right side. Or Eli Apple, I should say. Eli Apple almost came down with an interception. Not a good throw by Mahomes there. So now the Chiefs are faced with 3rd and long. Mike Hilton, Eli Apple missed that. Just missed that. Bengals rush 3, then drop back. Mahomes deep over the middle. It is intercepted. Intercepted off the hands of Tyreek Hill. It'll be brought back by, that's Mike Hilton. I want to say, Eli, was that? No, it's Mike Hilton on the interception for the Bengals, and now they will get, those Von Bell, with the interception, and the Bengals will get the ball back and a chance to win and go to the Super Bowl. Should Hill have caught that? Joe Burrow and the Bengals a chance to now go to the Super Bowl with a game-winning field goal by Evan McPherson. If they get into field goal range, they have to get there first, though. Burrow, quick out to the left, caught by Higgins, close to a first down. He keeps those legs churning, and he will be spotted just shy of a first down. So 2nd and 1, 2nd and short for the Bengals here, who have completely flipped this script on the Chiefs. Again, the Chiefs at one point, they were up 21-10, 21-3 even, I think. So a remarkable comeback by the Bengals, and just a complete letdown by the Chiefs as Burrow hands off to Mixon, who has the left edge. He gets a first down, tackle just shy of the Kansas City 40, now just about 5 yards away from McPherson's range. Right now, they're at the 42-yard line. Again, McPherson's range is being listed as the 37-yard line as the line to get to give him a chance within his range right now. But Burrow will hand off to Mixon, who gets swallowed at the 40-yard line for about a gain of 2. So again, 2nd and 8 coming up here. We're about to see Burrow drops back, throws left quick. He has a catch for a first down into field goal range. That is T. Higgins setting up the Bengals at the 33-yard line of Kansas City.
definitely now in McPherson range.
Over 100 yards on 6 receptions for T. Higgins. Now Cincinnati just cooking into field goal range right now. They could just play this however they want. Burrow will hand it off to Mixon, who has a nice hole over the left side after the cutback and a nice gain of 8.
I don't want to be called underdogs, but this team that had just 4 wins a year ago, they're not underdogs. They're in the driver's seat. I mean, maybe the Bills were last week too, but this is the Bengals. No one, I'm telling you, this is crazy. A few weeks back, we're about to say the Bengals might be going to the Super Bowl, and they just went and beat the number 1 team on the road.
Unbelievable indeed, Bostwick, as Burrow hands it to the left side to Mixon, who carries for a first down and more out across the 20. He's at the 15, tackled just shy of the 10-yard line to set up an even easier field goal for McPherson, or maybe even get into the end zone for a game-winning touchdown.
Situations, but in overtime, ripping off some big runs here. Timeout called by Kansas City. Well, this is where ball security just down
it. They're a team of just they're a Cinderella team. I know it's a cliche, but they literally are a Cinderella team. They were within. They beat the Raiders pretty comfortably at home, although they could have given up a game-tying touchdown late. But then an interception by Tannehill last week to allow the Bengals a chance to kick a game-winning field goal, and now an interception for the Mahomes. Never mind the interception. They had a chance to get a game-winning touchdown. The Chiefs at home at Arrowhead had a chance to score a game-winning touchdown from first and goal inside the 5-yard line, but blow it, settle for a game-time field goal. And then Mahomes, and then there you go. That decision before halftime, those 3 points do come back to bite them. And we just hit 10,000 likes, by the way, as we welcome in Isaiah, another great caster here. Isaiah, welcome to the show here. It's just been lighting this up. This game has been unbelievable. Again, and there's a Mahomes fan. User Ivanka is very sad about the almost inevitable Chiefs loss right now. Although Isaiah is happy with the Chiefs losing. I don't know, man. I want the Chiefs to be kind of like the Patriots of this generation, personally. But it looks like the dream would have been Chiefs Packers, but either way, Chiefs Rams would have been just as good. Either way, Bengals, they have a chance to now win this game and go to the Super Bowl. Yeah, so they're going to run with Mixon over the left side on first down for a gain of 2.
Shorter than the next point right now. The other part is you want downs in case the snap. You got to save at least 1 down. You don't run it 3 times to kick it on 4th. So what happens all of a sudden? Somebody jumps, you get a false start, ball gets snapped. I mean, anything. There's many things. The ball could slip. I mean, I've seen guys in the playoffs drop a snap.
There's 1 to go on the play clock. They just get the snap off, and Burrow, like you said, will just take a knee in the middle of the hash marks to set up what will be a kick by Evan McPherson, who I'm not going to say it. Evan McPherson will have I'll just say that Evan McPherson has a chance to send the Cincinnati Bengals to the Super Bowl for the first time since 1989. Yeah, just answer your question there, user Ivanka. Unfortunately, yeah. 31 yards to go to the Super Bowl. McPherson, the kick is up, and it is good. The Cincinnati Bengals are going to the Super Bowl for the first time since 1989. The Kansas City Chiefs mascot just fainted. Well, hopefully he didn't actually faint, but he fell backwards. Hopefully he's okay. But either way, Cincinnati, the Cinderella story continues. They're going to go to SoFi Stadium for a chance to win the Super Bowl. And we'll see who it will be against as we will turn the page to the NFC Championship game coming right up in a few short moments right here. But from my co-host, Silver Lining, Ryan Silver, myself, to our wonderful audience, over 10,000 likes. Thank you so much for tuning in. Ryan, what are your closing remarks?
Perfect on the road, regular in post. 22 of 22 on the season, 4 for 4 today. And midway through the second quarter, you never would have imagined it. The play at the end of the second quarter, the one you'll think about all off season. Well, they failed to score touchdowns at the end of each half. Inside. But they had points. They had points. And that's it. Look at Brian Callahan, the coaching staff.
Yes, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. We'll be right back after a quick bathroom break and quick wolfing down of a protein bar and glass of water. We'll be right back here on Colorcast, so don't go anywhere. And yeah, just again, thank you guys so much for joining us. We'll be right back in a short few. And on YouTube, don't go. We'll be right back as well. There'll be a different link to the stream as well. So stay tuned on YouTube as well. We'll be right back.
Did you ever have a hit that this team